What's up, everybody? How's it going? You're lucky because you were muted. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to This Week in Wrestling on the Horny Goat channel. Tonight, we have Gina, Basement, Trek, Ronnie is back, Dory, and Trek.
Trek twice?
How's it going, guys?
We have two Treks.
Did I say Trek twice? Well, fuck me.
Yes.
Two Treks too many.
You called me Trek, you dickhead!
Yes, I did. We also have Bobbit with us.
Asshole.
Oh god, I can't.
How's it going tonight, guys?
Good.
Eat a dick.
You eat a dick. Sorry. I thought I said Bobbit. I must have been thinking.
We saved the best for last,
Right.
Bobby.
He's in love with
Wait,
Trek.
Trek?
Don't
He said-
do. No, I am not.
Yes, you are. One of these days.
It's secret.
But how are y'all doing tonight?
Good.
It's fucking great, man.
It's good.
Doing good. Waiting for the hurricane.
Yeah, so am I. So am I.
Stand back.
So,
There's a hurricane coming through.
right, there's not a whole lot of news. I mean, there might be some more out there. I haven't really had a chance to look. I've been enjoying my vacation. Sorry if I don't fucking have wrestling news. There's a little bit. The PWI 500, we're going to talk about that fucking shit show. And then Gina's got the New Japan card, and then we'll talk about the AEW card. The SmackDown commercial was released or whatever. It's not like I pay attention to I heard about it, but I did not see it, so I'm not gonna speculate on it. The one thing
They also got their new logo too for Friday.
Yeah, I don't like the logo.
I don't mind it. It's simple.
I don't give a
why-
fuck.
Yeah,
But I don't like it because of its simplicity.
it's simple.
It's
simple.
Eat
close
the
to
pyro.
one of the older logos
It's
back from
simple.
like 05 or something. It was close to one of those old logos. Whatever, simple. Doesn't need to be saying anything else.
No.
Would you want it to be like a fucking someone getting slapped in the face or something?
Yeah.
I want it to be the fist
Yeah.
right up my asshole.
oh,
What the fuck?
the one thing that and we're gonna start off with it is the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500 wrestlers were revealed today. And I'm gonna go backwards
From 500.
from 10 to 1. The top 10 wrestlers of 2019, and we'll talk about the list. I'll go do 10 through 6, and we'll talk about 10 through 6, and then we'll do 5 through 1. So at number 10 is Will Ospreay. Number 9, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Number 8 is Kenny Omega. Number 7 is Roman Reigns. Number 6 is Johnny Gargano.
Mm.
So Will Ospreay was number 12 last year, so this is kind of, I don't mind him being at number 10 is good enough for me. Kenny Omega, what has he done in the last year?
He shouldn't be in the top 10.
No, he shouldn't. He
No,
hasn't
no,
done a
and
fucking
but
thing.
I do have to disagree as far as like, okay, you have a Hiroshi Tanahashi at number 9, but yet you have Johnny Gargano at number 6.
This
And
is obviously WWE centric.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
if you
like
look at
Hiroshi
the wrestling
Tanahashi is
world,
way. I mean, like Johnny Gargano's he's great with like technical wrestling and stuff like that, but like, no way, because I factor in experience as well. So get the fuck out of here with that shit.
I think it has more to do with like, and I mean, maybe I'm speculating, but like the PWI whole thing is more like who's
Impact?
had the more impact overall
Yeah.
in the wrestling world and this year, whatever the fuck they want to say.
Yeah, but like Roman Reigns was
Big dog.
over. Like he's at
He beat
number
cancer
7.
this year. Come on.
Yes, but I understand, but that like cancer has nothing to do with his wrestling ability. I mean, he's not a bad wrestler, but is he better than Hiroshi Tanahashi?
He's
Is he
than-
better than Will Ospreay?
According to them, he is, sadly.
Okay, so before Gina has a fucking aneurysm, I'm being serious. This is why you gotta remember this is all kayfabe. Do not I don't
Yeah.
take but I just want to talk about this list because there are people on here and I do look at it kind of the same way Gina does. I do. But again, Roman Reigns was gone half the year. Kenny
Mhm.
Omega hasn't done shit. So neither one of them two need to be in the top 10. I'm not going to lie. Hiroshi Tanahashi, you can take him out of the top 10. He's past his prime.
He is very much past his prime, and his knee has been bothering him so much
But
this year.
as far as what you're saying, Gina, I in my honest opinion, I think Roman Reigns has overtaken Hiroshi Tanahashi. I think Hiroshi Tanahashi is way past his prime.
I will agree with that, but like I guess I don't know. For me, it's like okay, you have Roman Reigns on the list who has gone for half of the year, but yet you have Will Ospreay at number 10, which normally I would agree with Will Ospreay being number 10 because he's not the greatest wrestler, but with what he has done this year and all of the records that he smashed and all the impact that he has done.
Mm-hmm.
For you to put him at number 10 and then to put Roman Reigns at number 7 for a guy who has been gone literally the majority of the year, that's just fucked in my opinion.
This is what I'm going to say about this whole fucking list. Unless they actually discuss what the parameters are why they're ranking people a certain way, this list means nothing to anybody.
It don't.
But
it's a kayfabe list anyway.
It's a talking point. I'll put it to you like this: in college football, they rank the top 25 football teams in college football, and half the time, the teams that are, you'll see like a team that's ranked number 25, they'll lose their first game and they'll fall out of the top 25 and they'll never show up again. So it's like, why did you rank them? This is why I don't buy into rankings.
But this ranking is different. This ranking is on the past year, and it has literally no like what. If you do not define why you're ranking something, how can you rank something? Is what I'm saying.
No, you're right. You're right. Like I said, it's just kayfabe. It gets people talking. All I'm saying is it gets people talking. Which is
this list is based. This list is based on 2018, correct?
Yes. I don't know because they released it 9 months into the year.
Well, if it's based on 2018, then I can kind of understand because Roman Reigns was with the company the majority of the year for 2018, as well as like Hiroshi Tanahashi would make sense because he won the G1 in 2017. So he had his big match against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom in 2018. So the list kind of starts to make sense if you think about it in that aspect. And as well as like in 2018, Kenny Omega was wrestling a lot more.
Right.
But why are they releasing a 2018 list in the 8th month of 2019?
Well, that's why I asked if it was based on like 2018.
I don't think it's like I don't think it's an actual calendar year that they're basing it on.
Okay.
But there's no criteria listed there's no criteria of like this is how we're ranking people like based off of match win count or nothing, like it's just
nobody votes on this.
This is who we like.
No, it's just a list that they come up with and it's like JP said, it's basically it creates a talking point as far as like
that's all
people who talk about wrestling and basically they create this list just to get people not arguing but debating like we are right now about who should be where and should this person be on the list and not.
Well, I mean, there's only half of these people should be in it.
Well, my thing is, too, there is not one female in that top 10 either.
Well, okay, so the women do their own different, separate.
Okay.
So they don't, there's one for the men and one for the women.
Because when I looked at that my thinking was, if this is based off of 2018, then Ronda Rousey should have been in there. But
I can tell you who's going to be number one for the women already.
Oh, yeah.
And that just tells me that this list is a fucking crock of shit.
Yeah.
Well, see, I really wish that the Locker was ranked on this somewhere.
Of course you do, Bob.
Locker should be number one.
telling you.
Basement's just upset Rey Mysterio is not on there.
But okay, so there's one person on this list, and I'm sorry. I think he's a great wrestler, Johnny Gargano. If he's in the top 10, where the fuck is Adam Cole?
Where's Ciampa?
Where's Ciampa?
No, Ciampa's broken neck.
I get it.
I know, but like, but okay. So like, this is based on. I don't know when this is.
This is not based on anything.
No. But they said that they came out with their list for the year, right?
Yes.
So if that's the case, then I assume that they put out another list right around this time last year. So within this last year, Ciampa was there, and he made a lot of. Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't. He was nowhere near the top 10.
No. But I'm just saying, like, he was wrestling within this past year. Because I can't remember when he got injured. That was earlier this spring, wasn't it?
My real question is, where's John Moxley? My favorite.
God,
he needs not even be in the top 500.
He needs to be number one.
Where is Walter and Rey Mysterio?
Oh God,
fucking each other in the parking lot.
That's why Basement's upset with this.
Where's Pete Dunne?
Pete Dunne's
the only two I think should be on this list actually for this last year are Will Ospreay and Gargano. Gargano's been the workhorse for NXT. Putting on great matches after great matches. Not spectacular, but above average.
And Will Ospreay has he's been the workhorse of the Super Junior division over in New Japan.
Exactly. So those two I can see. Omega I haven't seen.
No.
Fucking Tanahashi is 7,000 years old, and Roman Reigns was battling cancer half the year. So, like, what the fuck?
That's the top 6. Now, this is number 5, Kazuchika Okada. Number 4, Kofi fucking Kingston.
Okay.
Nope. Let me finish first. Number 3 is AJ Styles. 2, Daniel fucking Bryan.
Oh my God.
And number 1 is Seth Rollins. What has Daniel Bryan done to deserve to be number 2? I think they're trying to legitimize this list.
If this list is based off of 2018, then I can see that because that's when he was holding the belt.
Bryan is fucking boring.
Okay, in no world at all would Daniel Bryan ever be better than Kazuchika Okada.
No. But you gotta think of I'm thinking of the impact they made this year.
Yeah, but Okada has been consistently. He has been the champion consistently. Every pay-per-view he is putting on great matches. He's closing out shows. He has held the championship. He put on an amazing match at Wrestle Kingdom. But Daniel Bryan was the champion for how long, and he's been running around with Eric Rowan with his chicken with his fucking head cut off.
He came back though, and that was the big thing.
Right, that's what my thinking was.
Which is why he should be in the top 10, but not number 2, in my honest opinion, because he came back, but he came back lackluster, which is booking's problem.
Okay. I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm. I swear to God.
Kofi, the same thing.
Kofi Kingston is ranked at number 4, and Kazuchika Okada is at 5. Kofi Kingston is at number 4, and Will Ospreay is at number 10. What the fuck?
I'm starting to think impact on wrestling is what this list is based on.
Oh my God, they can eat my ass.
Well, it's
WWE friendly too.
Well, it would have to be
because WWE stars.
WWE has such a huge.
The last 3 years, it's been New Japan friendly.
Yeah, because Okada had number 1 for the longest
Omega
time.
Kenny was number 1 last year.
Right, Kenny was number 1 last year.
The thing is, the wrestling world was talking about New Japan in the last couple of years. This year, not so much.
See, I disagree. So I feel like they're talking more about it.
No, they are not. Trust me.
It's just who I follow on Twitter. Then I don't know.
It is.
Everybody was writing reports about Omega and Okada and the great matches that they put on, and that put the sight of the wrestling community on New Japan. Now it's not there anymore. WWE has made a couple moves. AEW's got some sight on it. I don't know.
Essentially, that's why they brought Kazuchika, or not Kazuchika. That's why they brought John Moxley in, is to get more eyes on New Japan, and it failed, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is, if anything, they should have focused more on Kenta, in my opinion, because Kenta, it was basically his homecoming. Back to Japan, I mean. I know he wasn't in New Japan before, he was in All Japan, but there was such a better storyline with Kenta coming back than there was with Moxley.
I agree. But you got to remember, Gina, they got the fans in Japan. They need to get the fans over here.
Yeah, but Kenta was like known in WWE as well.
AEW, it's like AEW. They have the hardcore fans. They need to grab the casuals. John Moxley was the way to do that. But people are like, I don't like this kind of wrestling. Real.
Name me fans that Kenta had while he was in NXT.
I was a fan of his in NXT. He was good in NXT.
He didn't do anything. He got injured and then came back and then got injured and then left.
Second time he got injured, I think he was over at 205 already. Yeah, but I mean, you can't blame Kenta for that either, though, because like they restricted Kenta a lot, and
I don't blame him for it. I'm just saying
they took his signature move away from him, the move that he made up.
I don't blame him for anything. All I'm saying is he's not going to bring WWE audience back to New Japan.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there, but I mean, it's just I don't fucking know. This list can go eat my ass. That's all I know.
Well, the list can go eat its ass every time. It's just a talking point.
Yeah,
Kofi should be in the top 10. Honestly, it's not because of what he did in the ring. It's because of the fanfare behind what happened with that at WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but he's not the fourth best wrestler in the world.
This is not the list of the best wrestlers in the world.
I understand
the impact on the wrestling world.
This is the only list that is out there. There is nobody else except it's opinion. Look. This is all opinion based. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, that's
even it. Go ahead.
I would have enjoyed it more if they actually would have made it like open to the public and been like, there's actually a voting system and whatnot.
PWI doesn't have time for that.
PWI doesn't have time for anything, apparently. Can't even describe what the fucking list is based on.
And not only that, but they don't even have time to fact check their shit. So.
You know what? I could get 500 names and throw them in a list and say, this is a list.
Yeah.
Thanks. Goodbye.
What the fuck? Essentially, I can tell you what they do with this list here. Yes, Seth Rollins, his in ring is up there. It's top 5.
Yeah,
but he is definitely not the only reason that he is the number 1 wrestler that they have on this list is because of the newsworthiness of him being where he is. He beat Brock Lesnar twice, and the last time wasn't believable.
He's Mangina's boyfriend.
He's an unstoppable force, and he's Mangina.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why Seth Rollins is number 1. Daniel Bryan, I just don't care. He's not. But everything he's trying to do.
The thing is, Daniel Bryan is an amazing, amazing wrestler. It's just I haven't seen enough from him over the past year to even figure out why he'd be at number 3.
Is absolute ass.
Exactly. Like, I mean, he's a great wrestler. We all saw that back when, Daniel Bryan was originally first coming up. We saw how amazing of a wrestler he is. He reminds me a lot of like Drew Gulak reminds me a lot of Daniel Bryan.
But the way I look at it, like, it's very hard to get wrestlers that can pull off a face persona. Daniel Bryan can do it. Sami Zayn can do it. What are they doing with these guys?
Letting Daniel Bryan yell fickle 10 times a damn day.
I haven't heard him say fickle in 6 months.
He's become a recycling guru heel, which makes no sense.
But I mean, they dropped the recycling thing, and now, well, the thing is, now it's like he really doesn't even have the recycling thing. It's like he really doesn't have a character right now at all.
The sad part is, Dan Rex said in the chat, Daniel Bryan should have stayed retired. When we feel that way about his return, that is a hugely missed opportunity. You only get, like, that's fucking gold, and they failed.
Especially with the response that he got when he came back. Like, when they had him face and he came back, I don't know if you guys remember, but the way that arena erupted when he announced that he was returning was something that I mean, I have shivers right now just thinking about it because it was amazing. You don't see responses like that.
Right, you are correct. But they failed miserably on another fact or aspect of that. The Miz. Boy, did they drop the fucking ball on that one.
Yeah,
and then now
the other night. They completely dropped the ball on that feud. That's a moneymaker.
That's the other thing too. If you're using that basis of comebacks, then why wasn't Roman higher? Because he even had the big comeback for coming back beating cancer. I mean, and he only made what, 7?
In all reality, I mean, I know Daniel Bryan got a bigger pop, but in all reality, Roman Reigns had the biggest comeback of all time because, like, he beat cancer. This was his second bout with cancer. People did not think that he was going to be back
that quickly.
Well, same with Daniel Bryan, though. People thought he was never, ever.
Dory, you're right. I mean, I guess Daniel Bryan, he wasn't supposed to ever be able to come back, so I get that.
Like, I could have been catatonic and have actually booked Daniel Bryan's return better than the WWE did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, especially... and they had... I'm sorry, Dory, go ahead.
Sorry, and then they come back, and Daniel Bryan comes back, and you miss the opportunity with him and Miz, and now Miz is a face. Mm-hmm. And Daniel Bryan's a heel.
Way
and
too fast. It's way too far gone.
Well, and you know, like, to take something so special, like they had something so special when Daniel Bryan came back, because like Daniel Bryan has always been special. He's always had the fans in his corner when he's a face, you know. So they had lightning in a bottle and they just let it go.
Yeah,
that happens too often, but this was like a gift from the fucking gods. you had a year run.
Oh,
you had
peanut.
The ability to have a year run with Daniel Bryan and a face with the same thing that he left out on. They didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, and now I don't know if they'll ever be able to quite get Daniel Bryan back to the face that he was before. They've damaged him too much.
They had Ron left in that too, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe Daniel Bryan wanted to be a heel, but at the same time, they're like, man, be a face for a year, because for fuck's sakes, help us.
Right.
I think it was his choice to actually do the heel turn.
I think it was. But either way,
this whole list can eat my asshole. Who's number 500 is my question.
I agree with it, but if and I know, and Ace said it in the chat just a few seconds ago. He said, "Yeah, PWI list also lists accomplishments that wrestlers accomplish kayfabe wise." And that's what this list is in it anyway. But I mean, come on. This is why I don't fucking take any stock in what magazine articles or news or like kayfabe. Well, kayfabe news is just funny. PW stream, fucking what culture.
This seems like Cosmo of wrestling magazines.
Everything that them motherfuckers say and say, you know what? I'm gonna speculate on it. It's a great talking point, but I'm not gonna take anything that you motherfuckers say ever. Even Dave Meltzer. Fuck Dave Meltzer. That's why I was saying fuck Dave Meltzer.
Well, and the thing is too, it's like it's all very opinion based, which is like I agree with what Dory said earlier. Dory said that somebody needs to come out and like put out polls, you know, and on Twitter or whatever, and like somebody that has a lot of followers, put out polls and let the fans vote on it so that you can get an actual list that's not like partial to one side.
Right.
Because everybody's going to be biased for something. Like some people are biased for the WWE, some people are more biased towards New Japan wrestlers or AEW, yada yada. The list goes on and on. So you're never going to completely get that impartial list unless you have fans vote on it.
Yeah.
Or at least have some transparency and say what the fuck you're basing your list on.
Exactly.
Well, then you run the risk with the fans voting it being the popularity contest.
That's
WWE will
that's
win.
true.
That's all this list is a popularity contest.
Yeah, or you even like you put all the wrestlers, like, okay, you get a list of like the most popular wrestlers in the world, okay, or the best wrestlers in the world according to popularity or whatever, top wrestlers of their promotions, whatever, and then you start comparing win-loss records.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of different aspects that are going to go into it, so it's kind of hard to like completely get an impartial thing in general or list in general, but
wrestling is the thing, though. It's not necessarily like it's hard to. If you want to rank on win loss, that's kind of garbage in my mind.
It is because I would like. There's so much more to
Samoa Joe, number 7,000.
Yeah, exactly.
But exactly, you know, and there's so much more to a wrestler than like I don't know. Take Kazuchika Okada for example. He could lose a match, but he could still look. Will Ospreay in the G1. Will Ospreay versus Kazuchika Okada. Will Ospreay lost, but he looked so damn good doing it. He was so impressive, even in a loss.
True.
I don't.
I just, you'll never ever, and people say, well, like Dory said, get a list out there. Who's gonna do it?
Me.
WWE. There is no, because you can't just, this list can't, it has to include WWE, it has to include New Japan, it's going to have to include AEW, because ROH and Impact can just die.
My opinion, it should technically include the indies as well, because there are a lot of really fucking good wrestlers on the indies that just haven't been signed yet.
Yeah, they ain't hitting any top 100.
No,
I'm sorry.
Never.
Just not enough exposure. They can't be talked about.
See, I think, like, okay, leave the indies off of the top wrestlers in the world or whatever list, but then you have another list of what that covers the indies and covers like ROH and Impact.
It's not recorded.
But listen, but like the ones that are recorded, you take a list and you put that with like ROH, Impact, AAA, other ones, and make a list of like the top 10 wrestlers to look forward to.
Maybe maybe do like a top 10 prospects, the future stars, like they used to do in for a lot of different sports, actually.
But I don't know how you feel about this, JP, because I know that you're a big New Japan fan as well. But like they're having like a little pay-per-view with New Japan that it's just the young boys, because they want to showcase the talent that is coming up.
Lions tournament. It's Young Lions.
Yeah,
they do that once a year.
Yeah, so they showcase all of their talent that is coming up and that's going to be graduating from the dojo, so that people can get used to them and get used to who they are and stuff. And I don't understand why, like, I guess you could say WWE kind of does do that because they have NXT.
Yes.
But
So I just, and the thing is that WWE will be like, why are you including our wrestlers in this list? And then you'll get this whole fucking shindig. So it'll never fucking happen.
All right, fuck PWI. Let's move on, please, God.
Right. Well,
stab myself.
No, that's pretty much all I got, motherfucker. Unless you got some.
Wait, what about it?
Not only that, but good luck on PW Insider nominating any Impact wrestlers, because if I remember correctly, a couple years ago they said their title was not a true world title and they weren't going to consider it anymore. So they pretty much just shit right all over them anyway.
PW Insider is different than Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Bill Apter is the guy from Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Not Ryan Satin. It's not Ryan Satin. Well, Bill Apter's been around the business for fucking years. He's been around a lot longer than Dave Meltzer. Huh?
Yeah.
I thought it was PWI. I thought it was Meltzer's one who did. Whoever did the 500, I could swear that they were the ones who said.
He's a Wrestling Observer. But PWI is Ryan Satin.
Yeah.
So yeah. There is one bit of news, I don't know if it's real or if it's just a parody, but Ric Flair it's kind of funny. So we all know that Becky is the man. Well, Ric Flair apparently is trying to trademark the man.
The man.
I thought you were going to say Ric Flair is trying to fuck the man.
So I thought it was funny. You showed that to me today. Heather showed that to me today, and I'm like, Ric Flair is going to trademark the man so Becky Lynch can't use it. Which I personally think would be fucking hilarious. They could actually turn it into a storyline, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's not just Becky Lynch, it's also Taylor Swift.
Yeah. What I saw,
she has a song on her new album called "The Man."
Oh.
Yeah, what I saw was Ric Flair against Taylor Swift. He's like, "I'm the man. How dare you?" or something like that.
Has a new album.
Okay, but I mean, she did Becky Lynch. She said Becky Lynch. He's going after Becky Lynch for the man gimmick, the man slogan or whatever. I thought it was. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
I got tons of things.
Go ahead.
All right. I don't know. Like, I think there was just speculation on Twitter, but there was speculation about Bray Wyatt as the Fiend for multiple things, getting a title shot.
Yeah,
I heard about that too.
The fuck is that? When is that happening?
We're booking there for that.
No. Booking and way too soon.
Let me, you know what though, you guys, like I'm actually down for it.
No,
but hold on.
They're going to derail his push if they have him lose.
I don't think so because
they are.
If they have him lose, yes. But if they're going to strike and they're going to put the title, if they're going to strike and they're going to put the title on him, did they need to do it while he is hot?
No.
Yes.
I mean, with the way I think, if they say they take it and put the title on him, then they have to treat him as Brock Lesnar, as an absentee title holder, which people are sick of, because if he's defending it, it kills his character.
Well, and here's another thing too. From what I hear, the Fiend, Fox wants it tamed down, and so does USA.
I heard that too.
I want it tamed up. He should be killing kids live on television.
Here, my personal opinion, I believe that if Fox and USA wants the Fiend to be turned down, whatever show he ends up on, fine. Have him only come out when he is going to attack someone. Otherwise, we only see him on pay-per-views.
Or do him as the Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt on TV.
Yes.
And then
no, actually, from what I heard, the Firefly Funhouse episodes was actually what they wanted toned down.
That makes no sense at all because there's no guidelines against anything he's done on those. It's not like, there's a sinister overtone, but he's not doing anything. It's like muscle man dance. We need to tone this down.
Here's another idea that I had about it, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to disagree, but it's just an idea. What if Daniel Bryan and Rowan, hold on, shut up. Listen. Just listen to me for 1 second, please. If Daniel Bryan and Rowan, if they were the ones that attacked Roman, what if they did it for the Fiend and they're actually bringing the Wyatt family back together?
No.
But they're going to have a twist. I could get behind the Wyatt family getting back together if they put Rowan and Daniel Bryan in like creepy fucking like
made them
kind of like a creepy.
Of darkness?
That's what I'm talking about. Like make them.
You remember how long it took the Undertaker to become the Undertaker in the Ministry of Darkness?
I'm just saying.
It's fast tracking Undertaker, and it's gonna fail horribly.
But I'm just saying, like, think about it. If you actually think about it, it kind of makes sense because, like, we saw like a Twitter beef between Braun Strowman and the Fiend. You know, the other day we just saw that happening. So like it kind of makes sense. All of this makes sense that they're going to end up with putting the Wyatt family back together again.
But he doesn't need a fraction right now. He's good on his own.
Oh, I completely agree with you. Like the only thing that I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay, well, I was just going to say, like, the only thing that I could see it benefiting is if they wanted the Fiend to be toned down on cable television, then Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan would be good substitutes to kind of do his bidding for him to keep him off of cable television and only on pay-per-views.
I literally hate this idea.
I'm just saying, like...
with Strowman is just the thing that jumps out to me is they're going to have a win from 6, and then he's going to have to job to to the Fiend. I mean, it's just too soon. Unless the only thing I could see, I thought Fox was gonna have him win the title on the first thing from Kofi on the first SmackDown.
I'm telling you right now, Bray Wyatt shouldn't come close to the title for a year. It shouldn't be for at least a year.
I think
he should have offshoot matches where he demolishes whoever he faces, and then maybe if you want to build up something, he faces the Undertaker at WrestleMania and beats him.
Well, and not only that, but like
that.
They need to put him up against like people that aren't gonna look bad even if they lose. Like Finn Balor, for instance. Okay, if they bring Finn Balor back and they have the Demon versus the Fiend, even if Finn Balor loses, it's not gonna crush his career. Okay, because we all know Finn Balor, the Demon. We know he has a solid history that's gonna kind of keep him in place.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you put him against, like, I don't know, let's say you have him squash like, I don't know, like an EC3. EC3's already pretty much squashed as far as he can go.
But that is nothing for anybody.
No, but I'm just saying.
It's like killing an ant.
No, but I'm just saying it was just an example. Like there's a lot of other ones that could be filled in instead of EC3. But like if you have him go up against somebody that their career could easily be in the balance if they lose to him, then that would be detrimental to either one of their careers if whoever loses.
I mean, the best thing to do was exactly what we talked about when he debuted at SummerSlam. Finn Balor should have went to black. He should have disappeared. He should have come back later after his whole fucking marriage and all that shit. Anybody that needs time off, Bray Wyatt should be giving it to them.
Yeah,
I agree.
In kayfabe.
What I heard is that at the MSG show coming up for SmackDown, that there's rumors they might have Undertaker get attacked by the Fiend anyway.
I think that's too soon.
Yep, it's all too soon.
Yeah,
that should never happen.
WWE, they're gonna say like we're the bigger stars and fuck AAA and whoever was gonna be at the MSG, and now they're gonna pull all the stops, which is why they brought in Austin. Austin's coming in now too, so it won't surprise me if they try and have him get attacked too. So it's like, but Vince, he'll do anything he wants, and Taker's not gonna say a word.
If this isn't leading to the Fiend versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, I don't understand why he's attacking all these old bastards.
They also, they've been teasing Sting, right? And Sting actually
Sting
made a comment.
He can't wrestle.
No, but he made a comment that he was like, I'd love to fight big guys, right? He said that he'd love to do something with Bray or with Braun Strowman. Mm-hmm. So what if it's Braun Strowman who's going to be the big one for Bray?
Sting is going to come down from the ceiling with a fucking walker.
No, but I'm not saying he's going to, but I'm saying in that statement he mentioned Braun Strowman as well. So I wonder if it's going to be Braun and Bray.
Well, they've been hinting at that ever since a couple years ago when he said squash the Scorpion. So that was supposed to be him versus Sting. Bray was, but then that got derailed because of Sting's neck injury.
It's really, really hard with The Fiend and Bray Wyatt because, like, the booking is so incredibly sensitive with this character. Like, if they don't do it right, then they're going to crush him.
Yep.
But if they do it right, then they have the potential to have the next quote unquote Undertaker. Nobody is ever going to be able to take the Undertaker's place. But Bray Wyatt has the potential to be that new menacing character for the WWE that could carry them into the next generation, if they do it right.
They made a bunch of right steps, and then I think they misstepped with Lawler.
Yep.
But I can look past that if they don't follow that with some other fucking... Oh, man. If I have to see him winning a championship in the next couple months, I'm done. I'm sorry.
You know what? I mean, like, everybody else made sense. Like, Finn Balor made sense because, like, obviously, with him not being able to fight Balor, that was never resolved. So he made sense. Mick Foley made sense because he took the mandible
claw.
Mandolin.
Shut up.
The mandolin claw.
Shut up.
And it worked too because Mick Foley's character was originally a boiler room, really dark character. So that's why I thought that worked too.
Yeah,
so boiler room character. Right.
It has potential, but the booking is so sensitive, and WWE, I do not have high hopes. I think they're gonna crush it. They're gonna ruin it.
Fucking ruin Bray Wyatt because Bray Wyatt's gonna end up being the Fiend. Let me redo this. The Fiend is going to just become Wyatt in a match. I mean, that's all he is.
Mm-hmm.
But
But that's
WWE's going to be like,
Undertaker.
okay,
It's
this is
painless.
getting fucking boring. We're just going to reveal that it's Bray Wyatt, even though we already know it's Bray Wyatt. But we're going to reveal it anyway, just because it might make for good storytelling. That's WWE.
No, it won't.
Jerry
It won't
Lawler
make for
would
good
No,
be-
story.
I know it won't. I'm just saying that's WWE's thinking.
And from what I hear too, like one of the things that Fox had a problem with was one of the most menacing factors of his whole entrance is his lantern. And Fox, like, apparently, this is rumor.
It was never even shown on Fox.
No, but like, that's the thing. Fox doesn't want it shown on.
That's okay. Don't show it on Fox.
That was just a rumor.
That's what the network is for,
right?
though.
So, but I'm hoping like that is just a rumor because like with Bray Wyatt, the whole thing that like made him amazing, like his whole entrance, everything in his entrance comes together, and it all like kind of seals the deal for like his menacing character. So if you take one aspect away from that, it's going to take a little bit away from the character,
but
and it's a little bit more.
But everything that Fox and like you are saying, listen, we don't want this on TV. That's the stuff I don't want them to put on TV anyways. Like, I don't want to see that stuff every week. Like, just keep it as a special thing. And I think, like, the lantern, we don't need to see that every week. We don't even need to see it every month. Like, leave it for special occasions.
I feel like in order for me to like Bray Wyatt, I have to actually have faith in WWE.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's the big problem.
It's just my faith is gone from that company right now.
That started because
for me, Bray would have made sense going after Lawler if he was in King of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was in the King of the Ring tournament, that would have been something with attacking Lawler to push him in that King of the Ring tournament.
I still don't think he I still don't think he should have been in the King of the Ring tournament personally. But that if you're trying to make sense of what happened, that is the only way. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
Or they could, again, like, they could have it just like the Fiend is, like, you know, wrecking, you know, he's, like, he has history with all these people. Like, we don't know. He's supposed to be, like, a demon and, like, this evil character. Like, how do we know he hasn't been kicking around for 20, 30 years? Like, they just need to write it right if they're going to do it when he's attacking them.
Exactly.
The rumor that... Oh, go ahead, Gina.
No, you go ahead.
The lantern rumor came from the fact that they pulled it off of, what was the pay-per-view that he was on? Was it SummerSlam?
It was SummerSlam.
They pulled it off of there, and then everybody went nuts and shit their pants.
Wow.
Then 2 days later, WWE's going crazy and saying, oh, we never meant to pull it, look, it's back. They did it to create controversy because they knew people were going to be drawn to that part, just like they're drawn to his mask, because it's Savini, and he can actually do a good job with it, and it actually makes people do a double take. So they knew it was going to create controversy, get people talking. That's why they did it. If Fox is saying that it's going to be on there, it's not going to be on there when he shows up. They're going to save it for pay-per-views.
Well, I think that there's certain things with all superstars that they need to save for pay-per-views.
I think everything.
Like, yes, I mean, it back in the day, like when we had Raw and SmackDown, like we would see just kind of more of the simple basic stuff on Raw and SmackDown, and they would save a lot of their major stuff for pay-per-views. I mean, yeah, you had like the incidents with like people getting run over or shit like that happening on Raw or SmackDown, but it all added up to a storyline that led to the pay-per-view.
Right.
And they're not doing that these days. Like they're just the storyline is being played out and finished on regular television, and that should not be the case, because if that's the case, then nobody has any reason to be tuning into your pay-per-views.
Well, I said this the other day. If you look at pay-per-views today, they're not even, and we talk about this when we're doing Wrestling Memories, the way that they did pay-per-views back in the day is they finished off storylines or advanced a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays,
they had number one contenders.
Pay-per-views, if you look at a pay-per-view today, I don't care if it's fucking WrestleMania. I don't care if it's SummerSlam. I don't care what it is. It is nothing but a glorified Raw.
Yep.
Well, okay, here's a question. Like, okay, a few days ago, we all watched Backlash 2002, right?
Okay.
Well, for me, that pay-per-view held more value than SummerSlam did this year.
It had better
It had
Every
better
match was
wrestling. It had it had better wrestling. It had better storylines. Everything was just a lot more solid. And we're comparing that to one of the biggest shows of the year.
And the thing about the pay-per-views that I really don't like in the last couple of years, and it's just, as you guys were saying, pay-per-views back in the day, it didn't have to be the final point to something that was going on. You could have a rivalry or something going on that would last through 2 or 3 pay-per-views, and you would just be advancing storyline on pay-per-view. It doesn't always have to be the final period end of something, right? And I think that's what they're kind of missing.
Well, they've done that, though.
Here is WrestleMania and SummerSlam are their 2 biggest pay-per-views, or were.
Mm-hmm.
Those pay-per-views there should have ended storylines.
Yep, I agree.
The way that they do it now, it's just like, oh, well, because they're going to Saudi Arabia, if you remember, at WrestleMania, the very first Saudi Arabia show was 2 weeks after fucking WrestleMania. All WrestleMania did was advance the fucking storyline to fucking Saudi Arabia. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania should have felt.
Well, I feel like WrestleMania and SummerSlam, like you said, it should put an end to storylines. But not only that, it should plant the seeds for future storylines coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And neither one of the pay-per-views this year did that.
None of the pay-per-views do that.
SummerSlam actually just advanced the current storyline with Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton.
Exactly. Or you know, we see people that are, you know, they I know that this is NXT that I'm going to bring up right now, so it's a little bit different, but I was pissed because anybody on this call haven't seen NXT yet?
You need to watch it.
I've seen it.
Okay, so everybody's seen it.
I've seen it. Yes.
Okay, so spoiler alert here. Okay, so like,
talk about it.
Well, actually, if you watched Raw, you already knew because the Street Profits didn't have their titles on Raw.
I loved it. Love it.
Okay, right, but like what I hated about that was they easily could have taken those titles off of them at TakeOver because they lost to the same people that they faced at TakeOver. So like, why not end that storyline right there and bring them up to the main roster after
there was 2 things.
SummerSlam?
Well, because they didn't want it to look like a fluke that they won the last time, because if Street Profits would have lost at TakeOver, it would have been exactly like, oh, you guys are just a fluke, and then why would you bring them up then?
I don't.
But bottom line, I don't think that that's it. I think that they had the Street Profits keep that title that weekend because nobody lost a title except for Brock Lesnar that weekend.
Reason.
It was building up to Seth Rollins.
It was all about fucking Seth goddamn fucking Rollins.
But also, why not debut fucking Rhea Ripley at the NXT TakeOver?
Exactly. You know, it's
all the eyes are on. Like, yeah, you beat her. Have that match start the show, and then have a segment where Shayna Baszler comes out and does exactly what she did in this NXT. Do it at the pay-per-view.
Yes,
that's where these debuts are supposed to happen.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine what the crowd would have sounded like with Rhea Ripley's music hitting right after that match ended, and she comes out and she rips the microphone out of her hand and does exactly what she did on NXT this week, except at TakeOver? That would have been such a better impact.
Agreed.
than anything else. I mean, yeah, they had Sasha come back at SummerSlam. Or was it SummerSlam? Yeah.
No, it was
it was
Raw
the night
following
Raw.
SummerSlam.
Right. So why not have Sasha fucking bounce out and come out right at the end of at the end of that match at SummerSlam?
SummerSlam was made to make me angry.
I get it, but I feel like they're kind of dragging it out because if they would have had Sasha come out at SummerSlam at the end of that match,
because SummerSlam is not on the USA Network, that's why. But
they still could have had her come out and you know attack Natty that next Raw, or they could have had her do the horrible promo that she just cut this past Raw. They could have had her do that the Monday right after SummerSlam. It just feels like they're dragging storylines out that don't need to be drug out.
I agree, but after WrestleMania and SummerSlam are 2 of the biggest Raws of the year.
Not really.
So they need some. Well, according to them,
I'd say WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that's Like, I've never heard about SummerSlam, the Raw after SummerSlam being a huge thing.
Right.
Well,
I always heard about
the way it
WrestleMania
used to
being a
be,
huge thing.
the way it used to be is these were the two biggest shows of the year,
Yeah,
so it would be the beginning of the next set of storylines, right? So they needed something, but I just think they put too much on Raw and not enough on the show.
The way they used to do it is they separated the fucking Raws from the fucking pay-per-views. The pay-per-views had nothing to fucking do with the Raws except to advance the storyline. That was it. It had this whole fucking WrestleMania weekend thing is just an idea that fucking Vince came up with to make money off of. It's not really the Raw after fucking WrestleMania. Has it been that great?
It's been an area for people to
years,
debut.
no. Yeah, in the past few years,
I'm not saying it's been good.
The Raw after WrestleMania has really lost a lot of steam. I think like the last like decent Raw after WrestleMania that I seen was when they were down in Florida. Was it Orlando?
But here's the thing: why are the debuts happening? Why is it more important for me to watch Raw than it is for me to watch SummerSlam? It used to be when people had to pay $50, $60, whatever, fucking $70 to watch a pay-per-view. It used to be because you can't believe what you've missed if you didn't pay for it.
Exactly.
Now it's, don't worry, you're going to see it on Raw.
Yeah. Well, the problem is now the pay-per-views have become just extensions of Raw and SmackDown, 2 and 3 extra hours to get everybody on the show.
But the thing is, like, I'm sorry.
But that's where the storylines aren't progressing because it's leading into the Raw, it's leading into the SmackDown, and they're not, like we said, they're not ending them at the pay-per-view or starting them up at the pay-per-view. It's just a continuation to get you into Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown. Now it'll be Wednesday NXT and then Friday SmackDown.
That's
Do you know? I'm sorry,
go ahead, Gina. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, the big difference from like back in the day to now is back in the day they had a decent sized roster, and Raw and SmackDowns you would see a lot of that roster for the majority of the show, and you would only see their superstars, like the main superstars, for like small segments of the show. Like, yeah, they may have a match or whatever, but it didn't take forever. You didn't see 2 out of 3 falls with your top fucking guy of the company. You didn't see those matches, like you didn't see those matches on a Raw or a SmackDown. Those were pay-per-view matches. And now that like their main superstars are being so over saturated and that the rest of your roster is falling wayside.
And sometimes too, it's like 2 or 3 times in one night. It's just ridiculous, like how many times we see Seth Rollins on a show. But
Becky Lynch.
What I was gonna say too was just with NXT kind of going onto cable. I know it's still going to be on the network, but they really need to up their game because people are going to start getting fed up. You know what? If I can see replays of whatever's on the pay-per-view the next night on Raw and SmackDown, why would I bother to have the network?
Yeah.
If everything's just going to be on cable.
They used to do replays. Not replays, but they used to do, like the night after a pay-per-view, they would, but now they did, and Basement made a very good point. They did still frames. They didn't do actual movement. Mm-hmm. So
they put it all on their website. If you go on the website and their YouTube channel after a pay-per-view, the majority of the big stuff is there.
That's the fucking problem with fucking internet and social media, because it has ruined wrestling. It is
it's the problem with the way they're using it. It's a tool. It's always going to be the user of the tool, not the tool that's being used.
Okay, I know that I bring up New Japan a lot, and I'm sorry, but the thing that they do that WWE should take a little bit of from is New Japan, after they have a pay-per-view, you do not see any spoilers from that pay-per-view until at least a day later, because they give everybody, all of their fans, a chance to watch that pay-per-view, catch up on what's going on before everything is spoiled. I mean, yeah, you might have a spoiler here or there from like a fan who watched it live, but you don't actually see anything from the actual company. Whereas WWE, like Dory said, they have their shit on their website or on Twitter immediately right after the match is over.
Mm-hmm. The problem with WWE, it's like, this is the analogy I'll use. I like pizza. Here's a slice. Oh, thanks. That's good. Here's a pizza. Thank you. Here's 10 pizzas. Here's 12 pizzas. I'm going to shove these pizzas down your throat until you're dead. That is WWE.
Yes.
It's everywhere. It's too much. They're killing people with content. Less is more at times. Who is in charge of this shit? Because, like, holy fuck, they might have brain damage.
Right.
Well, the other thing is, too, and I think it's hurt them, is when they didn't have the time constraint on Mondays. Now it's like you're looking at the clock and okay, 2 minutes is left. What's going to happen, or if somebody's coming out because they got 5 minutes left.
If you're still awake
Whereas
at this
before
point.
you had that element, okay, we don't know when it's going off the air. What is going to happen? Are they just going to end it, boom, or is something going to happen? But now when you look at the clock, it's like, okay, the match is going to end, or they're going to make it a tag team match at the end. After in the beginning you had just the 2 stars, so now the main event ends up being a tag team match, and I think that's hurt them in the long run too, with the time constraint that they put on USA.
I agree, and like the shitty part about that is like it's not just about USA or even coming up Fox with the time constraints. They've now put time constraints on their pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I don't
think time constraints are really the problem. I think that the fact of the matter is I could be hooked up intravenously to food and I could watch WWE continuously and never blink an eye 24/7. That is the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, like even
absence makes the heart grow fonder. There is no absence; it's always there, watching me.
But I mean, what I'm getting at is like the pay-per-views. Those are on the network, so they shouldn't be on a time constraint with that. In my opinion,
they've ended early. They've ended late.
Yeah, they've ended early, but rarely do you ever see them end late. Like usually they end. Well, they end right around the same time that they did when they were, when you had to actually buy them from pay-per-view.
Them ending
which is
early
usually
is
between
like
9:30. But I mean, it's usually between like 9:30, 9:45. But what I'm getting at is like they can. It's on their own network, so they can put that extra push or that extra punch, or surprise in there, but they just choose not to.
They can't book.
But the problem with that is they can't get, because they're still on pay-per-view too. So the pay-per-view people of Tuesday, you have to cut off at a certain time.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good point too.
And Basement is correct, because with me, end of June, the same feuds were going on that I was watching when I got back on my feet in August.
Mm-hmm.
So basically for the whole month of July, it was just the same thing that ended after the pay-per-views in June, continued on through July into August, and now we're going into September. And it's the same people, like you said, you see time after time after time on the Raw, the SmackDown, the NXT, which is now going to be coming up on September 18th, and using those platforms with the rosters that they have, they can not have the same people that are on the first hour back on the third hour. Right. There's enough people on that roster that they can use everybody or anybody, that you don't have to repeat these same people and have the same storyline.
Sorry, Ronnie. But then they point to the fact that when this person came out, the ratings went up. So they're going to shove them their throats and put them on TV as much as possible. Then.
But that's so stupid. The idea of that is so stupid.
Way of thinking though, because USA is like, put this. If it wasn't for crap like that, we wouldn't have a third freaking hour. Because USA is the one who wanted the third hour.
But back in the day, as Gina said, when you would watch Raw and Stone Cold and Rock were on, they were on for a short segment and it raised ratings. But then they weren't on again. And so back then, if USA was like, okay with it, then why are they pushing for now?
And not only that, but
more ad revenue now.
But not only that, but I feel like that they have such a huge roster that is not being showcased. And if they would go back to the way that they used to do it, because like back in the day, we used to see like guys like, I don't know, like Too Cool and Rikishi, or like we saw Lance Storm, Steve Blackman, all of these right, all of these like lower to like mid card people, Crash Holly, Hardcore Holly, all of these people were like a normal mainstay on the show. And then you had your Stone Cold and your Rocks and your Triple H, your DX. You had them coming out for short promos in the ring or short matches.
And it wasn't always the first hour. Usually it was what, like the 9 o'clock, like the second hour that the big names would come out. And that's like, okay, start with action, start with some of those mid-card guys, have the 9 o'clock segment, and then, you know, you have your cruiserweights or whatnot, you have your tag matches, and then you have a big match at the end. Like, it doesn't need to start off every stupid Raw and SmackDown with like the big names. It's just like, well, why else would I watch the second and third hour?
Because USA is so afraid of losing those viewers that they'll do anything that they want, and they'll ask WWE to give them a third hour. They'll ask WWE to do the 24/7 championship. Make no mistake about it, folks. That was a USA suggestion. That was not Vince. They threw a bunch of suggestions at him, and Vince said, this is the lesser of all those evils. It's USA, USA, because they're paying them $1 billion, just like Fox is. You think Fox isn't going to get away with saying that stuff too? They will.
But this is the problem. Vince McMahon has allowed other people, as soon as the company went public,
right?
That was the beginning of the downfall, because as soon as Vince let other people start making the decisions for his business, that's when shit started turning.
I know, but you know, like I said, and then the worst part about it was that dreaded third hour went into there because USA. It finds it easier because they only know what was showing on after Raw that before the third hour came on. NCIS. They don't have to worry about that anymore because they got another hour of wrestling. And like I said, Fox for all we know, Fox next week could say, give us a third hour of SmackDown. I don't think they would, but I mean, like, if they would you turn down that much money? I don't think they would. I think Vince is like, we'll give you as much shit as you want. It's good shit.
This is the most I've ever heard Trek talk.
But if that's the case,
he loves networks, that's for sure.
And the network is like constraining them, or they're forcing them to do so much of that. Fine, but then why aren't you doing more more on your own network? Like, I feel like they could be doing so much more with their own network.
I don't want to see live shows on the fucking network.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when you do have something like a pay-per-view, why aren't you using creative control there then?
Well, again, like they still have. Yes, WWE has their own network.
Yeah, they still have to pander.
They still have to pander to the satellite companies and that stuff because they still offer pay-per-views on there.
Yep, and replays.
But for the love of God, could we move on?
Well, I was gonna say one more thing with the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin Rock thing. They started shows with them.
But not
but
they revolved the whole fucking show around fucking Stone Cold and The Rock.
And I agree with you, but like,
but they did it right.
Exactly, like it was like short outbursts, kind of where they would come out and they would do a promo, and then you might see them like in the back or whatever.
Yeah, the show. I mean, they would show like go to the backstage, and them two would be, trying to find each other or whatever.
Or like
and then at the end, they meet up in the middle of the fucking ring, and then they'd have their, especially the go home show. That's what they used to do.
Prime example: Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. When Stone Cold, was it Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold when the title got thrown in the river, or was that The Rock?
Yes, that was one of them.
Okay, they did it with The Rock.
He threw the gold medals in the river.
Okay, but
for the people.
But regardless of which, both of those storylines, okay, they started out the show with Stone Cold looking for somebody or whatever. Or no, I'm thinking of Stone Cold and Kurt Angle when Stone Cold threw Kurt's medals into the river. Is that yeah? But Kurt Angle's looking for Stone Cold or whatever. That starts the show, and then a little while later, you cut to Stone Cold by the river, and then later on in the show, you have Kurt Angle come out in the middle of the ring calling out Stone Cold, and then it cuts to Stone Cold throwing the medals into the river.
Sprinkling them throughout the show, not giving us 3 20-minute segments.
Exactly.
Sprinkle.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of like when we bring up Rock and Austin, when Austin
God, he's evolving.
Then the next week he said, I really don't give a shit about you. He threw all those things in the river, and somehow mysterious. I mean, even back then they were kind of dumb because mysteriously enough, The Rock came back to the ring the next week with that same Intercontinental title.
I'm making notes. Trek is not allowed to talk more than 5 minutes.
That's a long time.
But anywho, all right.
I'm just kidding. Bobbit, what about you? We've been talking. You haven't said anything. What do you think about what we've been talking about? And then we're going to move on to the King of the Ring because we got to do our picks for that now.
King of the Ring.
Shit stuff. That is all.
Okay, good talk. It's all right. It's all right. All right, so we're going to move on to the King of the Ring. We're going to move on to the King of the Ring. We got, I call it the semifinals, the conference semifinals, so to speak, of the King of the Ring. Samoa Joe and Ricochet, Cedric Alexander and Baron Corbin, Elias and Ali. I don't know why. And then Andrade and Chad Gable are the quarterfinalists, the King of the Ring. We're gonna pick, everybody on the panel's gonna pick their 4, and then we just go from there. So
there's a problem with this King of the Ring because
yes, there is.
They built it in a way where there was multiple storylines involved in this King of the Ring that never panned out.
Nope.
If they would have just straight up built it with talent that needed to like get to a point, be transparent, be obvious.
Yeah.
This King of the Ring tournament, you throw a bunch of guys in there that don't have storylines going on, that need to actually show themselves in the ring. That's what it should have been. But it was a mixed mash of people that had storylines going on and people that need to show themselves in the ring. And they seem to be going the way of people wanting to show themselves off in the ring.
Yep.
But it killed it for me because I didn't know what to expect going in watching it. And though people will be like, oh, you know, not knowing what to expect is great. Not necessarily when it's a tournament.
Well, half the people that are involved in this don't need push.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't say half. I'd say like 70%, no, 30% don't need a push. The rest could have been in this tournament, no problem. But what we're left with right now is just I'm here scratching my head because I don't understand the first round.
No, and I don't understand the first round, and I fucking lost my shit when Ali beat Buddy Murphy. It made no fucking sense. You have Buddy fucking Murphy almost beat fucking Roman Reigns, beats Daniel Bryan, who's apparently the number 2 wrestler in the world, so to speak, and then loses to a little 180-pound Ali.
Well, I flop back and forth between this because they have been showing Ali packages, which means they want to push him. But they've been pushing Buddy Murphy in the ring. So you've just done multiple things to push him just to stop. Yeah. Because now his push is dead.
Yeah. I don't want to fucking see Buddy Murphy on my TV anymore. I'm just kidding.
Whoever booked this tournament makes no sense. It's not that I don't want to see him. It's just that it hurts him. It hurts him.
I don't think so because like they made him look good even in defeat.
How?
Because,
but Gina, he almost beats 2 of the top. He beats 1.
No, I get what you're saying.
He almost beat
Roman Reigns.
The
beats
big
Daniel
dog.
Bryan, loses to
He's got a
Ali.
rocket up his ass. They just released.
He doesn't have a rocket up his ass.
They just released in the new game that one of the big entrances for this year's game was him.
That doesn't mean he's getting a push.
What big entrance? What does that mean?
But regardless of which, I definitely agree with what you're saying, JP, because I was super pissed about it too, because I didn't think it made any sense with the storyline. But I loved the way that they made they had Ali win because even in defeat, Buddy Murphy still looked strong.
Losing to Ali, no.
The end result does not help. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't even understand why you would do all those other steps. It's like we're gonna take 10 steps forward and then never mind, we're gonna take 12 steps backwards.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Like doing something to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, in an overall
why not put
match,
Ali in Buddy Murphy's place? Let him beat fucking Daniel Bryan.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like the storyline wise, it made no fucking sense whatsoever. The match itself
this
was
whole
great.
fucking tournament. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
And though I'm okay with like a certain thing not making sense to subvert my expectations, but the whole fucking thing is just like, guess what? Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise, cockfag.
But then again, this is also a tournament, and I like to be surprised in tournaments. I mean, this might have not have been one of the surprises that I would have gone with, but I like being kept on my toes.
The thing is, this is a surprise I could get behind if the tournament had, like, I did not know at all what to expect with this tournament, the way it was built. They were going, they I guess, shown that they were going one way with putting top tier talent in the tournament, and then they decided to not go with the top tier talent, which makes no sense, really. I don't know. Unfortunately for me, the King of the Ring has fallen flat because of I cannot understand it.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like it doesn't make any sense. Booking wise.
Right. So, who do you want to start? You want to start with Raw or do you want to start with SmackDown?
Let's go SmackDown. We started with Raw last time.
All right. So, the first match we will pick is Chad Gable versus Andrade.
Chad Gable.
I'm going with Gable.
I'm going to go with Gable as well.
Yeah, so am I.
Trek?
I'll go with Gable. After all that time they spent shitting on him with like the little short comments, he's gonna make it. I think he actually might make it to the semis.
This is the semis.
I have this. I'm going with Chad Gable, but I got this funny
tournament
feeling.
Sucks. I'm sorry.
I absolutely have this funny fucking feeling they're going to do exactly the same thing with fucking Gable that they did with fucking Buddy Murphy. Exactly the same thing. He needs to win, but they won't let him win.
You know what? I'm with you, Andrade.
No, basically.
Actually, no. I'm staying Gable. I'm staying
Gable too, but I just don't be surprised if that happens. I'm coming to you. Go ahead.
You guys are forgetting something. Zelina Vega.
She interferes in fucking everything.
Therefore,
Yeah, but here's the thing. What's the next match going to be? Elias or Ali?
Elias.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Shane's still coming out somehow in this thing.
Yeah, same here.
I agree.
This tournament can eat my fucking asshole.
What
a way to kill the King of the Ring. Like, honestly, I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. There's too many people talking at one time. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to write this down.
I'm writing it down too, Gene, so.
Oh, okay.
Bobbitt, what about you?
Andrade.
Okay. I mean, don't be surprised if you don't win.
Yeah, but will Vince really risk doing heel versus heel?
Nope.
No.
Especially not for the end of the tournament. Or face versus face at the end of the tournament. That ain't gonna happen.
Okay. So the next match will be Samoa Joe versus Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Okay, so Ronnie said Ricochet.
I think we all said Ricochet, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did everybody say it?
Yeah.
I only heard a couple of people.
Okay, I'm going to say Ricochet as well.
Ricochet.
I haven't said anything yet.
I didn't hear Heather either.
Yet. What about you, Heather?
Probably going to be Ricochet.
I hope Ricochet does a 630 and misses. I'm just kidding. I like him. He don't need it.
No, but he's gonna get it.
You're right.
So
I'm gonna go with Ricochet as well, Bobbitt.
I'm going Ricochet, and after the match, he's going to finger blast his asshole.
One and only.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I got this right. Like the last one, everybody except for Bobbitt and Heather went with Gable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. And then everybody went with Ricochet.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right, and Elias versus Ali.
Elias.
Here's the thing. This whole SmackDown side could end up either way. Like if Andrade wins, then he's gonna be facing Ali because they made Ali beat Buddy Murphy. I don't know what's happening with Elias. He lost the belt.
No,
he's a heel, but
he won it back.
No, I thought he lost it again.
No, he won it back.
Well, who the fuck knows anymore? Who cares? So I don't know, man. Can I change one of my votes?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Andrade to beat Gable. I'm actually gonna go with Ali to beat Elias.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Elias.
So Basement's going with Andrade.
And Ali.
You're going with Ali.
Ali Ababwa.
I feel like something may happen this week to where it's supposed to benefit Elias, but I feel like it might cause a detriment. So I'm actually going to go with Ali as well. I just feel like they've been kind of silently pushing him for a while.
Actually, you know what? I'm changing mine to Andrade. More I look at it, I'm going with Andrade as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going with Ali.
Oh man, don't be a follower.
Because, well, no, it's because they ain't gonna do face versus face. And I don't see Elias winning.
Shane will get involved, but at the end when it's Drew McIntyre.
That could be. Well, no, Drew McIntyre's out.
Drew McIntyre's out of it.
He died.
Heather, what about you?
On the Oregon Trail.
Ali.
Okay. Ronnie, I didn't get you.
I'm going Elias.
So you think they're going to do well?
I took Elias and Gable.
Actually, I'm switching it back. I am sorry. I am.
God damn it, JP.
It's fine. I'm writing it down too. I'm going with Gable and then Elias. And the reason being is because that is heel versus face. I was thinking that for some reason that Elias was...
So is Andrade versus Ali.
Well, that's heel versus face too, but I think Elias is going to be at the end.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think something's going to happen, and
Is this your pick? Shut the fuck up.
What?
Gina, who you take?
I'm taking Ali, because I think that something's going to happen with Elias and Shane, and I think that it's actually going to work against them, and it's actually going to start a feud with Elias and Shane.
Why? Yeah, I think that's going to happen later, though. That's where I'm thinking, because the fast count happened with Kevin Owens, and I think it's going to push Elias up into those finals.
It could.
I can't wait to see that.
Or it could be that Kevin Owens attempts to interfere, and that kind of distracts Elias, where Elias loses.
And two, fuck Ali. I don't fucking like him.
Oh, I like him.
I hate him. I think he's...
I like him too, but they started pushing him, and then he got hurt, and then now they made him win over Murphy. I don't think they're going to push him any further.
He actually has no character, so I don't care about him.
Babbitt, I didn't get you.
I didn't get Dory.
I'm gonna go with the guy who chases lights. Ali.
Chases whites?
Chases lights, I think he said.
Oh.
Dory,
I'm going with Elias.
Okay. And then the final match, Cedric Alexander versus Baron Corbin.
I'm going Baron Corbin because they're gonna pull Cedric out for injury.
Baron Foreskin.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're going to just buy four.
There's rumor that they're just gonna give him a pass, and they're gonna pull Cedric, saying he's too injured to wrestle.
Why in the fuck did they have him win then? That makes no fucking sense.
Nothing makes sense. Does it matter?
Jesus fucking Christ.
I was gonna go Baron Corbin regardless.
Foreskin.
I love Cedric Alexander, and I think that he is great in the ring, but when push comes to shove, I just think that Baron Corbin makes more sense.
Yeah, once McIntyre got eliminated, Cedric has no place.
Mm-hmm. And McIntyre could also come into play with this match, because you got to remember that McIntyre and Corbin have a history of being allies.
Honestly, I've given up on the King of the Ring.
You going with Baron Corbin there, basement?
Yep.
Heather?
Baron Corbin.
Bobbit?
Baron Foreskin.
Ronnie, I didn't get you.
Baron Corbin. Like I said, like we were saying with Dory, I think it's going to end up being a forfeit.
Trek? I hope not. Then why? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Trek?
Yeah, it's Corbin.
I think they're going to let him wrestle.
And then get dominated.
I think he's still going to lose, yeah.
Because they'll be like, at least he tried. But also, like, the actual brackets make no sense.
No, they don't. And Heather will have that updated for Monday, just so everybody knows. There's that. What else is going on in news?
Apparently, Tennille Dashwood might be part of AEW, but who cares?
Right?
Actually, Impact.
Actually, let's talk. No, she's not anymore.
Oh, she's not.
Actually, let's go on to New Japan. Any New Japan news out
there? We have the Royal Quest pay-per-view coming up tomorrow.
The what?
Royal Quest. Okay, they are in England.
Like, what's a Royal Quest?
Royal JP.
Got you.
But yeah, that pay-per-view is coming up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then other New Japan news. I haven't really heard too much. I know Tanahashi is pretty much like it's being rumored that he's going to retire because his knee is pretty done.
Well, like I said, we talked about it at the beginning. He is past his prime, like way past.
Yeah, well, and I know that he has a match against Zack Sabre Jr. tomorrow, and Zack Sabre Jr. has a history of targeting that knee, so it could end up being like becoming even worse than what it already is after tomorrow night.
Oh, fuck! Thank God, I don't know if I want that match. Fucking 45 minutes of a knee ball.
Eat my ass.
A lot of ass eating tonight.
Threatening tonight. Ass eating threatening tonight.
The card for Royal Quest tomorrow, it looks really fucking good. It's a really good card.
Right. I'm actually good. But then usually New Japan has a good ring.
Yeah, but cards. like this one, like even their tag team matches they're really good.
But there's gonna be like 45 fucking.
Let me see here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tag team matches going on tomorrow night.
It's like a lot.
But the tag team matches include people like Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay versus El Phantasmo and Taichi Ishimori. And then they have Taguchi and Shota Umino and Ren Narita versus Rocky Romero, Yo and Sho, Juice Robinson and Kota Ibushi versus Takahashi and Hikuleo.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have Sonata and Naito versus Jay White and Chase Owens. Huh?
Who's Hikuleo?
Hikuleo is, if I remember correctly, that is actually Haiku or Haku's actual son. And then for the tag team championship, they have God versus the winners of the Road to Royal Quest tournament, which I'm not really too sure who that was.
I don't understand the name. Like, what is the Royal Quest?
It's just they're in England, so that's why it's called the Royal Quest. It's just like the name of the pay-per-view that they chose.
Okay. I mean, I might catch little bits and pieces of it. I don't know if I'll be watching it.
I don't know, watch the whole thing.
I know tomorrow night, like there's 3 like main card championship matches. 4 if you count the tag team. But for the heavyweight championship, Minoru Suzuki is actually getting a shot at Okada, and this is like his first time at a championship, like the IWGP championship. So,
and he's only 47 years old.
I can't remember if this is I can't remember if they said that this is his first shot in general, or if this is his first shot in a very, very long time. But regardless of which, like, he has not had a shot at this championship. He has not faced Okada face-to-face for this championship. and they've had a really good storyline.
He's not gonna win.
No, I'm just saying, but the storyline itself has been really good.
The only storyline I saw was like during that one event. What else has really happened?
Okay, so like that one event, Minoru Suzuki, as you've seen, he kind of threw a fit, and it was about like him not being in the G1 and how they didn't think that he was good enough to face Okada and all this stuff. So that kind of progressed, and then Suzuki wrestled in tag team matches through the G1. So like some of those matches, he picked up the microphone and kind of added to the storyline after.
I saw that happen, but that was only once, right?
No, that happened a couple of times throughout the G1. So like the storyline has been built, pushing him to get this title shot.
It'll be
and not only that, but it's just a history of Minoru Suzuki. So, but I mean, we all know that the Suzuki's going to lose, but it's still going to be a great match regardless.
Yeah, just because it's predictable doesn't mean it's bad.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the double count out.
No, he should lose. Okada should not lose to.
No, I completely agree with that. Like Okada should not, and he will not drop that title until Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh no, he if then.
Yeah.
But
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just. No, you're good. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna like switch gears here. Are we still on New Japan or no?
No.
Is there anything else? News.
Wait, what?
Jesus
Christ! We do have one more piece of news.
Okay.
The climax.
Oh yeah. Well, you could have announced that, Trek, because you were the one that brought it up. But apparently next year. I
didn't want to take your thunder, Gene. It's your segment.
No, this is your thunder. Trek actually found out today that next year's G1 won't be during the summer like it normally is. It's being pushed to the fall because of the Olympics that are going to be occurring in Japan next year. So.
Yep. I know that the NXT takeover in Cardiff is happening tomorrow night. I give two fucking shits about NXT UK.
I'm going to tell you right now. If I have to, it's on at the exact same time as Royal Quest. So if I have to choose between the two, I'm watching New Japan.
There you go. Because fuck.
Well, Basement, I know is going to watch Walter and Cesaro.
Oh god.
I was about to ask about Cesaro. Is like
Cesaro's on his way there.
He's there.
It's just like a one-off stint in NXT UK for him. You think, or
no? I think they're going to leave him there for a bit.
I hope not. NXT UK is essentially 205 Live.
It is.
But he could do a lot of good over there.
Yeah, but you guys.
But that's what they said about Neville, and then he left the company.
But you also have to remember. But you also have to remember too, like it's comparable to 205 Live for us, but for people over in England, that is their NXT. You know, so like it's different for us compared to them.
But is it
because they're
NXT
watching it
NXT because it's all recorded?
Yeah, but it means more. What I'm saying is we don't have any. It doesn't mean anything to us because we don't know a lot of the wrestlers. We're not familiar with a lot of the wrestlers that are over there. These are the wrestlers that they're watching every week on their TVs. You know, throughout different promotions and whatnot or whatever. They're going to see.
True. I know they watch it more than we would. But it's not like they don't watch what they were watching beforehand. It's like, oh, NXT UK, stop watching Raw, SmackDown.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that they have a more familiar basis with these wrestlers, whether they've seen them live or whether they were watching them on another program or another promotion that was going on over there, because they have Rev Pro and a couple of other promotions that are in England as well. So they're just more familiar with them, so it means more to them than it does to us.
Okay. I mean, I do agree with you, but I don't know how important that number is. It's just because like it's going to be a hardcore fan base, and the hardcore fan base is not going to just watch NXT UK and not watch NXT or not watch Raw or SmackDown.
They might be doing it to make NXT UK feel more reputable. Like they've done crossover with all the other brands, so why not start doing it more with NXT UK? And I think that's what they're trying to do.
It's logistically impossible if you're trying to do that.
Well, and not only, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's almost logistically impossible. You're talking about them traveling 2,000 miles.
Yeah,
Zara's doing it.
But I mean, like, I guess what I'm saying for like it meaning more to them is just like they're more likely to watch both NXT and NXT UK than we are, is what I'm saying, because like a lot of these wrestlers are familiar to them, so like the pay-per-view itself means more to them than it does to us over here, because we're like a lot of us don't
about, like,
watch
the hardcore
NXT
audience, because the casual audience are watching WWE.
Yeah.
And the people that are familiar to them are the WWE talents, not the WWE NXT UK talents.
Well, I don't know. You can't really say that either, because like Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, fucking Walter.
I feel like I could say that though.
But I mean,
you think about it,
I feel like
it's the casual fan base. They're watching the bigger product. They're not watching an offshoot of the bigger product, because those are popular people in the underground or more hardcore wrestling scenario.
But Cesaro going over there makes sense because, okay, do you guys remember Finn Balor went over there and he actually wrestled his protege Jordan Devlin.
But this
and that was
Cesaro is definitely not staying there.
Yeah, but that was a fucking amazing match, and it brought eyes to NXT UK. Yeah. So I think that Cesaro versus Walter is going to do the same thing. I mean, because Walter, whether we like him or not, whether Basement likes him or not, Walter is a huge name over there.
But like I think like Cesaro, like the argument, like not really an argument, just a statement. I don't think Cesaro's staying there.
I don't think he's going to stay there.
What if this is the way to get Cesaro and Cassius Ohno back together as a tag team and actually have them have a good run on NXT UK?
I would actually really like to see those two back together as a tag team. They were enjoyable as a tag team.
Well, if they're on NXT UK, I'm definitely not seeing them.
But if you think about it too, Cesaro might have asked for this. He might have gone. He might want to do something different because he's always trying to challenge himself with different things, right?
He probably wants a vacation. So he's going there and he's going to stay there for a bit, and then he's going to come back.
Could be. I don't know. Anyway, I just know that is tomorrow night, and I definitely will not watch it because I don't care about NXT UK.
Yep, it's like it's 2:05.
I will watch it, but it'll probably be later because I like NXT UK does have a lot of really, really good wrestling. Mm-hmm. Especially like Jordan Devlin, like he looks like Fergie Ballin, 100%. But he's really good, and like Walter, Basement hates Walter, but Tyler
really
Bate, Pete Dunne, the Coffey brothers, like they have a lot of really good talent over there.
Which is why I just wish they were absorbed into NXT, and NXT went to the UK.
Who knows? They might be still.
I don't think so.
Well, I have a feeling that NXT UK and NXT are going to be doing a lot of crossovers as soon as NXT goes live.
Plus, if 205 Live does get absorbed into SmackDown, we're going to have more attention on NXT because they'll get more attention to the WWE Network too.
Well, why does 205 Live get absorbed into SmackDown?
205 is dead.
Hold on.
Why can't they disperse the fucking talent all over?
I don't think that they're going to absorb that into SmackDown. If anything, 205 Live is going to get absorbed into NXT in order to build the roster.
No, they're going to be dispersed. It's already been shown that the big talents are going to be on Raw and SmackDown, and the smaller talents are probably going to be on NXT.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Disperse it.
Yeah. Disperse.
Well, Fox is, like I said, it goes back to Fox. If Fox wants them, Fox is going to get them. And Fox might be the one saying, put these guys here, put these guys here, put these guys here.
But that's going to be a disperse.
I'm sure WWE never signed a contract saying if Fox wants them, Fox gets them.
Yeah, here, let's just give you creative control, Fox.
Paying them up, who's going to have final say? It's Fox.
But
you're getting paid an assload of money.
I understand what you're saying, Trek, but in that aspect, I do think that it's going to be a dispersion because Fox is not going to want all of 205 Live. They're not going to want all of those guys because some of those guys on 205 Live, some of them are a lot better than the other ones. So I think that the better ones, like JP and Basement said, the better ones are going to be absorbed into SmackDown or possibly Raw. And then the rest of them are going to go either back to NXT UK or into NXT.
But why would WWE ever sign a contract with a company saying whatever you want, you get?
It's all about the money, Basement.
No, I'm sorry. That would kill them. That would literally kill them.
Basement, they do that with USA. Why do you think the 5-minute overrun's gone? Because USA said kill it.
These are two
USA
different things.
That's because
of
Trek. That's
business.
Programming. That is not telling you, I want this talent. This talent comes here, or else we're not down. That's not how WWE.
Yeah, that's control. Then you might as well not have WWE.
So,
yeah,
Fox USA run the show. Fox might as well own WWE then. That's what you're saying.
I'm sure they've said, like, yeah, we want X number of big name talents. We're not going to name them because you're a creative property, and we are going to trust that you're a creative property so that we want 5 big name talents. And the five big name talents they will get.
Don't apologize.
They might get, like, one person that they really want. If it's Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, so they might get that. But they're not going to fucking be able to book the show.
No, and that's the thing is they might have the final say if it's something that could hurt like their advertising or their image as like a brand, but I don't think they would be like doing micromanaging.
But the thing is, like, when it comes to any of these programs, it's like if you're gonna run.
Basement died.
Right.
The USA Ninjas got him.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep, you're back.
Oh my God.
There we go.
No, I mean, like, the bottom line is they pay you to put what you want on their network. They have a say, or they have a way to lean.
Yes.
To keep something on air, but they don't have to be like, I want you to kill this character off on your TV show right now because
it's not like
we can.
TNT. It's not like TNT and WCW. Like
TNT used to do that all the time. Yeah, they used to say they don't like the heels, take them all off. It's like
that, but that's what I'm saying. They used to micromanage WCW, and that was a big issue. And
the thing is, like, WWE has the high ground. They could literally leave Fox, go somewhere else. There's a bunch of fucking channels that are going to want WWE programming.
WWE and Fox is a completely different thing. TNT owned WCW. Big difference. TNT could tell them what the fuck they wanted them to do. That's why fucking WCW failed.
Because they would have people doing surveys all the time saying they don't like the person, take them off there and stuff. Exactly.
So that being said, we have a pay-per-view tomorrow night.
I want to think of the.
Go ahead.
No, you're way further than I was.
But go ahead. Say what you were going to say real quick.
I was just going to ask about the Roman Reigns fucking storyline that seems to be going nowhere.
Oh, what about it?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
Fuck it.
Is it dead in the water to you?
It died a long time ago.
It died. The hood off the guy, and it was Roman, and it was Roman's dad.
That was the end of it.
It's not Rowan's dad.
No,
that was.
Oh my God! It's old enough to be Rowan's dad, and then I made a joke about it. So.
Yeah, that was the death of that storyline. As soon as they unveiled the guest, who was basically Rowan, it's like. Okay, well, you literally took the wind of everybody's sails. Yep. So why is this ended SmackDown, did it not?
It did.
Why?
I don't know.
They wanted to show Brian slapping the shit out of Rowan. I don't know.
The storyline is dead.
Okay, first of all, Daniel Bryan smacking Rowan around and screaming like Rowan just cheated on him is ridiculous. Like they made Daniel Bryan sound like any woman that has ever been cheated on.
Exactly.
Also, Rowan, just fucking pick him up and throw him into the stands.
I agree.
Like, holy fuck, man! Like, the whole thing doesn't make any sense, in my honest opinion. Like, they had an interesting storyline, and now that storyline is dead.
I agree.
Meh.
That's pretty much WWE programming right now. It's meh.
I mean,
no, it's shit is what it is. It's not meh.
Wrestling,
Most of it is fucking trash.
Okay, but the fucking storyline is fucking crap.
Yeah.
Storylines are shit.
Why spend so much time? Why build this as the main storyline if that is what you're gonna do with it?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that and the Chad Gable match that didn't give a fuck about.
No.
Like I don't know where their priorities are. Nothing makes sense.
Their priorities are lining their pockets.
They teased me to get back into watching it, and now I'm at the cusp of not being able to watch it.
No, I understand. So AEW is doing All Out, and I think it's in Chicago, if I remember correctly.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is.
And there are 10 matches here.
Oh god. Mm-hmm.
2 of them are on the pre-show, so they have 8 matches.
Is that including the Battle Royale thing?
That is on the pre-show.
Okay.
And it's a 21-woman casino battle royal. I wish they would stop fucking calling it that, but whatever. I don't care. Just call it a battle royal. It doesn't have to be. What's the difference between a casino battle royal and a fucking regular battle royal?
The Casino Battle Royal made sense with Double or Nothing, but now it does not. It just stopped.
None of this shit makes sense.
Well, it's the way they're coming out. They're coming out based on the deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come out. There's the group that chose clubs, a group that chose spades, group that chose diamonds, and that's how they're coming out to the ring.
But the first 10 isn't like 10 of
them. The deck of cards battle royal.
I mean, that's how I understood it when they were doing it on the drawing with Jake Roberts.
Well, that's how it was for Double or Nothing, so I'm sure it's still the same thing, but it just doesn't make sense. Like Double or Nothing, it made sense.
These they're trying to be what's the word I'm looking for? Cute with their fucking gimmicks.
I mean, I would have gone more with original, but
yeah, well, yes. But
it was the original when it first happened.
So they announced here's the announced participants for that 21 casino, whatever the fuck it is.
Battle Royal.
Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Allie, Brandy Rhodes, Teal Piper, Evilise, Jazz, Big Swale. That's what I think that's
Big Swale.
Yeah, it's Big Swole. Big Swole. That just doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's Big Swole. It's Big Swole.
Yeah, it should be Big Swale, not Big Swole. That sounds like fucking stupid. Who fucking come up with that goddamn stupid
Big Swole? Who the fuck is this, a man or a woman?
It's a woman. Sadie Gibbs, Awesome Kong, don't give a shit. Jasmine McKenzie, and 10 others that are to be announced.
Jazz was announced through their Twitter page.
She's on there. Yeah, she is. I see, right? I already saw
From that list, I'm probably.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not even picking.
I'm going to go with Allie.
I'm going to go with Evilise.
I'm not going with anybody. I hope they all.
And I also don't really care because it's going to be a terrible match.
I can tell you who's going to win it. I can see it now.
Okay, so tell us, and that'll be your pick.
Brandy Rhodes.
That's who I was picking.
I'd rather die.
I'd rather die too, but I'm telling you right now.
She can't wrestle to save her life. If they
She's
do
gonna
that,
hide under the ring.
I'm still hoping for Bull Nakano to come out.
I'm going with Evilise, man. Evilise.
What she looks like now?
I don't want to see that whole Awesome Kong fucking Aja Kong fucking thing. I don't fucking want to see that shit. I don't ever want to see that shit.
All right, so Heather, who do you got a pick for that one or no?
I just hate these battle royals, man. I'm sorry.
What?
I do.
You said Brandy Rhodes.
Okay.
I think Tenille Dashwood, as we were talking about before, she's going to come out. I think she would probably I think they would have her win if she does.
Instagram model Tenille Dashwood.
A surprise entrant should never win, because then it's not really a surprise entrant. That don't make sense.
I think that's. I don't think that's true at all. I think a surprise entrant can win anytime, as long as the surprise is good enough. Like, yeah, you can't say that about the Royal Rumble. Like, yeah, I think a surprise entrant should win if the surprise is big enough for them to win.
Look at the Hardys coming back.
Okay, either that or I was just gonna say, like, imagine with this last Royal Rumble if Kenny Omega would have shown up. Like, if Kenny Omega showed up,
he should have.
How many people would be pissed off that he when he didn't win?
I do agree with Basement, but I don't think Tennille Dashwood is a big enough draw to.
I actually think Ivelisse is like one of the best competitors that he mentioned in terms of in ring. So
I will actually kind of disagree with you, JP, on that one because Tennille Dashwood, she's been in WWE, she's been in Impact, she's been overseas.
Yeah, but she's been modeling for 99% of her career.
She hasn't wrestled in like fucking 6 months.
She was injured.
Yeah, she was injured.
Well, she wasn't too injured to take fucking ass pics in the Dominican.
Anyways, Trek, you gotta pick for that one.
You know, someone's been strangely silent who was on, I think it was Double or Nothing, and has shut down her Twitter and her Facebook. We haven't been able to find her. Hey, you guys are gonna like it, but
I am done with AEW.
It's gonna be Kylie Ray.
No, she better not. Fuck that woman should never win
a fucking
match.
They're doing something with her. They're doing something. She may not win the match, and she may not win the opportunity, but I think.
So what's the opportunity? What do they win?
I think it's number one contendership. I think
the winner.
Yeah, so Ivelisse.
No,
she can actually wrestle.
The winner will receive a match for the inaugural AEW Women's World Championship on TNT October 2nd.
You know what? I'm
actually. So who can wrestle?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna change my pick from Allie. I'm gonna change it to Britt Baker.
That makes the most sense.
No, I'm still going with Ivelisse. Whatever.
Okay, Bobbitt.
Whatever Asian girl's in it.
I don't know if there is any.
I don't care.
That was coming.
I don't think there is any, Bobbitt.
Nasuki.
Bobbitt's not watching.
No, there's
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going with Kylie Ray, Trek?
Yeah, I think it's her. They've had their strangely silent. She shut down everything, so I think they're gonna have her come in as a big surprise and win and get at least the number one contendership. I don't think she'll win the title, but I think she's gonna be in there.
That woman should never win a fucking match.
I know, but you know they're trying to make her. They're Bailey, and what's Bailey right now?
And
the title holder.
Fucking Bailey.
So they're gonna go for it.
And
the other thing Austin and I were talking about is for a surprise entrant. She was supposed to be training in NXT at the Performance Center, and her contract with MMA is up. And
who
is Cyborg?
Oh, Chris Cyborg. Yeah.
Cyborg. I can see that as a surprise entrance, but I'm still going with Brandy because I think she's going to win the title first off.
Me too.
I'm sorry, guys, but my little I have to hop off.
Okay.
I will talk to you guys later.
Have a good night, Dory.
Night, Dory.
No, I do not think Brandy Rhodes will win.
I think Awesome Kong's going to be her heavy hand, and she's going to be hiding throughout the match, and she's going to come in like what happened against Sarah Logan.
The thing is, like, booking Brandy Rhodes to win is a WWE move.
It is.
Which is why I don't think they're going to do it.
They've done tons of other WWE moves.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Because what you're going to television with somebody that can't wrestle as your champion?
No, gets a shot at a title. They don't get the title.
But nobody has a title, right?
No.
Yeah. So
but
you're going to television with somebody that has a shot at the title that can wrestle?
It's a fucking shock factor.
Their biggest draw is going to be Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega for the men's world title.
Yep.
The Brandy Rhodes will not win.
I hope you're right, but don't be surprised if you don't.
Well, she won't.
Well,
I'm not going
to be surprised.
Isn't the other women's match with Rio and Shida, isn't that a number one contenders match? Who's going up against them?
Yes.
Whoever wins this battle royal?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if it's Brandy that wins it, then her opponent would be either Shida or Rio.
Yep.
I do
So
not.
I mean,
feel
that's
like
an easy win right there.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's definitely not happening.
Oh, anyway, moving on because basement's just Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
I'm actually really looking forward to this match because I love high flying shit and I love flippy shit.
I don't care.
I know already.
No, I don't care about this match.
I'm going Private Party.
Who was that?
Oh, me. I'm sorry.
Ronnie. Okay.
I'm going Angelico and Jack Evans. Lucha Underground will never die.
Fucking human highlighters.
Is that why? I see what Basement's doing. Heather? I'm just gonna fucking go with Private Party.
Yeah, I was gonna say Private Party, fucking Crime Time 3.0.
Well, well, no, actually, because they are. One is Killshot, and the other one is they were in Lucha Underground too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very good.
And you got to remember that tag team tournament's starting up too. So whoever they're pushing.
Well, that's coming. I got that's in here. Gina.
I love Angelico and Evans, but I'm going with Private Party. They're really good.
Also, Trek.
I'm going with Private Party.
All right. Next
Babbitt?
match.
Did Babbitt pick?
No, because I forgot. Babbitt.
I'm always forgotten about.
Shut up.
What?
What?
Pick.
If you give me a fucking second, I'm gonna go with Private Party.
All right.
Thank you. First match. I don't know if this card it's all over the place, so I don't know what's kicking off the main card. But the first match I'm going to go with is Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt. Yeah, Marco Stunt, a little 102-pound. My daughter could beat this guy up. Versus SoCal Censored, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. I'm going with SCU.
Same here.
Same here. Because they haven't won yet.
You're going with them group of goons?
I am actually going with Basement and going with Luchasaurus because I feel like they have a lot of momentum.
They also
have never won a match.
Not momentum from them, from the company. Like the company really, really loves Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, so I feel like they're going to be pushing them first because they're. I mean, Luchasaurus. Everybody loves Luchasaurus.
I don't.
Well, you barely love anything, JP.
Yeah, you hate the world. But at the same time, I will say, like, I'm with Gina 100% because there is more marketing power with Luchasaurus than there is with the other team.
Yeah, but the other team, being that they're part of that group, they haven't won one match yet.
Yeah.
That's okay.
They're going into
they don't even have a TV show yet.
Four losses down. And I think because it's the three of them, I mean, I can see them pushing Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus if it was a tag team because of
who's
generating the
he's like 100
tag team division. But because it's the three of them, that's why I'm thinking SCU is going to take this one.
Well, the thing is, like, this is not going to be an actual wrestling match.
Yeah.
It's going to play off the Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
And it's going to play off the tiny guys.
No, I feel like this is going to be a very gimmicky match because like SCU is going to come out and they're going to be doing their SCU thing, and then Luchasaurus is going to come out and the crowd's going to go nuts because everybody loves Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. I feel like this is just like this is going to be one of those matches that they use to propel their main like tag team forward, and like Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy are one of their main tag teams right now. So
and you have SoCal Uncensored, which is technically a bunch of guys in their 40s. They are enhancement talent.
50s.
They're not.
Christopher Daniels is not
enhancement talent. Well, Christopher Daniels is one of the oldest, but yet he's still good.
He is because of his age. He's going to fall into that category, unfortunately.
Okay. Trek, who you think?
I'm going with Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and
Marco Stunt.
Marco Stunt, thank you.
Bobbit?
I'm going with Luchasaurus.
Jesus Christ, it's a lot of writing. And
I just started abbreviating.
I don't have that one.
But I mean, I've seen people that normally don't like. I don't talk about wrestling that much. Talk about Luchasaurus because of the gimmick. So there's no way they don't win. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well,
I mean, like after the Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view one came out, like that's all anybody was talking about was Luchasaurus.
No,
like if you went on Twitter and it was all about like they came out with they started pushing new T-shirts right away. A boy and his dinosaur with the little cartoon, Jungle Boy and the cartoon dinosaur. Like they just started pushing merch for those two like crazy.
I think Luchasaurus should just drop Jungle Boy one. Just electric chair his ass one day.
See,
Anyway.
Jungle Boy is small, but I like him because even with his size, he's still incredibly good in the ring.
Now,
he's good. He's good in the ring. I'm not gonna lie.
Next match is Riho versus Hikaru Shida. Now it doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure that this match here, whoever wins gets a title shot.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but is Riho, is that Hikaru's
Riho.
daughter?
It's that really skinny Asian girl.
No,
I know who Riho is, but like, is she facing her mom? Because I know like one of those women that they
actually
no, but listen, like
thing.
what one of the women that she faced, I believe it was at Double or Nothing when it was the 3-on-3 match. But one of the women from the opposite team was her mom. Remember the one that came out dressed like the Monopoly guy?
No.
With the top hat and the like little fucking one eye spectacle thing. That's her mom.
No, this woman, this Hikaru Shida was born in 1988, so that's definitely not her mother.
Oh, okay,
yeah, it's impossible.
Well, regardless of which, I'm going with Riho.
I am too.
Same here.
Same here.
I really do not like her because she looks like a strong wind would kill her. She's 93 pounds.
I mean, the other girl's not that much bigger than she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with her anyway because I know I love her. But like, Jesus Christ, man, I need a sandwich.
I mean, she's tiny, but she is good in the ring too. So
she can pack a punch. She does have a pretty good
A
strength.
93-pound punch.
Basement. I've seen a 93-pound guy knock out a 200-pound guy. I've seen
it. Where?
In the Army.
And why? You guys fight each other?
Because the 200-pound guy was giving the 93-pound guy shit, and the 93-pound guy fucking snap, hit him just right at knocking the fuck out. It's not about the power behind the punch; it's where he got hit.
Yeah, because if you hit it on the right spot on the jaw or something, then that could be a knockout punch.
I agree, but this is like
I get it.
Entertain. Yeah, it's okay.
I get it.
This will never upload. Fuck you. Lick my ass. I've uploaded this 18 times, and it stops at 90%. 19 minutes. It's not 19 minutes. Don't lie to me.
Bobbit, who are you going with?
Well, first of all, I'm going to be watching this without any pants on.
We know.
Secondly, Riho.
TMI, Thomas.
Oh God! If we're on Skype with him, and all of a sudden I hear something that sounds like flapping, I am nope.
I was gonna say you hear the zipper coming down.
Jack, what about you?
Riho.
And Gina, I don't know.
Riho.
Now they may go with Shakira because she's pretty good too. But I think they love them some Riho, huh?
I was gonna say I think Christian Rio.
I know they love. So they really pushed her. Like they really
Well,
focused on her.
and not only that, but like the last couple of pay-per-views, since we first saw her come out, the last couple of pay-per-views, like the commentators have really concentrated on like making sure that people know her background.
Not a fan. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I'm with you. I get it, but you can't. The weight thing, not an issue with me, because she can pack a punch.
Unless you put her in the ring against somebody like Nyla Rose.
I want to see her face Brock Lesnar.
I do too. Freak her right.
But wait, if she punches him the right way.
They hit you in the bridge of the nose.
It would just turn purple.
So the next match, and I probably will be pissing during this match for sure, is Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc.
I think it'd be a good match, actually.
I think it's going to be great.
Well, of course, because you like that fucking violent shit. Cracker Barrel Clash. That's what this.
I'm going Darby Allin.
All right, fuck.
Darby Allin is a dumb cum sucker.
I don't care for him. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go with Havoc.
No, I'm gonna go with Joey Janela.
And Heather's going Havoc?
Yes.
Okay, now you guys said that this is a Cracker Barrel match. So does that mean that they're throwing barrels at each other?
No, they're fighting at Cracker Barrel.
It's a Cracker Barrel Clash, and what it is, it has that Cracker Barrel fucking barrel in the middle of the fucking ring.
That sounds like you're reaching for gimmicks before you even have a TV show.
It's a gimmick match. It's a gimmick match because that's exactly what it says.
I'm going with Darby Allin for some reason. I don't care.
I just think after his match with Cody that he's another one they're going to push.
Why?
Well, you're going to push somebody.
Heather, you picked Havoc, right?
Yes.
Bobbit?
Just
Dory
because
said
of his
Janela.
interaction with Dr. Burl on the Twitter, I'm going to go Jimmy Havoc because his interaction with them on Twitter is fucking hilarious.
That could be, too. I mean, I could believe Havoc winning, but the surprise in this is John Moxley's going to come out of the Cracker Barrel. But anyway.
Naked.
JP, Dory said in the chat she's going Janela.
Where was she in the last?
She was dealing with Evelyn.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mersa.
Who is she going? Janela?
Janela, yeah.
Janela.
I'm not a fan of Joey Janela's. I just think he... Then again, Bobbit said fucking Havoc on fucking... I could see them fucking having him win.
He's got the more experience out of all three of them.
Trek?
I'm going with Janela.
And the only reason that I'm picking Janela is because of the match that he had with fucking John Moxley, even though it was fucking shit, but whatever. Gina, who'd you pick?
Oh, I'm torn.
Don't be.
Rip Torn.
These three people could give a shit about what you do.
My brain, or let me say this. My heart is going with Havoc because it makes the most sense, but my brain is telling me Allen because I have a feeling that they're going to push him.
They
but
better not.
Fuck it. I'm going to go with Havoc.
They better
Yeah,
not.
he's a guy that's going to be paralyzed in like 2 years.
Well, if he keeps on doing fucking straight backdrops onto fucking concrete, or onto the side of the
ring. Whatever he did in the ring where he slid on his head, the quickest guy.
Yep.
I just can't get behind him at all.
I can't get behind half the roster because it seems like fucking gay.
I don't like you.
The next match is Cody versus Sean Spears, or as we all know him, Ty Dillinger, with Tully Blanchard.
And then you got to remember Cody has somebody in his corner too, which I believe is no. They said that there's going to be the stipulation is each one of them has somebody in their corner. It's just
they
Cody.
did a poll.
Doesn't have it listed, Gina.
Yeah,
they did a poll about it.
And they said it was either going to be would you want Brandy, Diamond Dallas Page, or MJF? And Diamond Dallas Page won by like 4%.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be Diamond Dallas Page or I think it's going to be his brother.
There is nothing on here.
Well, they announced it on Twitter a while back.
It's the All Elite Twitter.
Because it said that they were going to have somebody, but the only thing is Cody hasn't released who his person in his corner is yet.
Well, he's an idiot.
But anyways, I'm actually. Can I pick first because I have to pee?
Yes.
I'm gonna go Sean Spears.
I put Ty Dillinger. That's what he is.
Or you could just put the number 10.
Yeah, I'll just put the number 10. Basement? Basement's mad at me.
Sorry, I had to take a Zack Sabre.
Fucking asshole. I'll be right back.
Where are we? How did you get here? I'm going with Sean Spears.
Ty Dillinger?
He's had enough wins.
Heather?
I'm hoping Cody doesn't book himself into a corner to where he wins again. But I'm gonna go with Ty Dillinger.
You're gonna go with Ty Dillinger? As you notice, I'm calling him Ty Dillinger because I haven't seen this guy do anything but be Ty Dillinger.
The perfect 10.
Trek?
I think it's Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, I'm sure it is because that's not his name. It's Sean Spears. But anyway.
What a dick shit.
Ronnie?
I'm going with Sean Spears too because I think it's going to be MJF and it's going to start the feud with Spears and MJF. I think he's going to help.
This is what I don't understand. Okay, Sean Spears is a heel, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why would heel fight heel?
Is Cody a babyface or is he a heel?
Does it matter?
Well, MJF is a fucking douchebag.
But if you recall, when he got hit, the first person out that helped him was MJF, and then they had that backstage altercation with MJF and Sean.
This is where I call bullshit on fucking AEW right there. But anyway.
Because, I mean, MJF's not even on the card. So I think that's what's going to happen is he's going to have MJF come out, and then Sean and him after the match are going to get into it, which is going to start the feud with those two.
Well, then I would have fucking Ty Dillinger lose.
The perfect scarf.
But whatever. Bobbit, what about you?
I'm going to go with the perfect non-Sean Spears.
+1.
Carry the one.
Dynamite.
Again, Cody doesn't need to win. I am going to go with Ty Dillinger. And yes, I'm calling him Ty Dillinger because... And yeah.
But then you also, the one video where they were doing the contract signing, Cody just signed it. So he doesn't even know what's in this contract because they were kind of, Tully and Spears were kind of whispering back and forth. And then, of course, we don't know who he's going to have in his corner because the other speculation, and Dory put it in the chat, Dustin just signed. So it could be Dustin that comes out with Cody.
I've heard speculation it could be Magnum TA.
Magnum TA is 72 years old.
Yeah, but
speculation.
He's going to wheel down in the wheelchair.
Magnum TA.
Magnum TA got a day pass.
I think they would talk about the fact that he has history with Tully Blanchard.
Well, of course he does. Go back and watch fucking Starrcade 1985. They had a fucking I Quit match.
Or don't watch that.
Right, because Brandy even did a promo about that during that one thing they were doing tonight on the the Road to All Out when they were promoting TNT tonight. And of course, if you're looking at the Rhodes family, and if Dustin just recently signed, so you'd have Dustin, Cody, Tully's out there, and then of course Sean Spears, which I didn't know tonight, they're very close with the Rhodes family. So apparently, I mean, they, from day one, with getting into his career and stuff, always had Cody and Dustin as on the road training and doing things family-wise.
Cody Rhodes is definitely losing.
Why get a 72-year-old man out there? Well, if they have a future Hall of Famer that could easily be called up, be like, "Hey, we need you."
I was kidding. I don't think he is 72, but he's old as fuck.
No, he's at least.
He's about the same age as Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard is just gonna be. He's like fucking what's it?
Paperweight.
No, he's not paperweight, but he's more or less what Tully Blanchard is. Is he's J.J. Dillon is all he is. He's gonna distract. That's all he's gonna do.
So did everybody go with Sean Spears?
There's some dispute going on, which makes no sense.
I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
I just want to say that
he's got an old fuck talking for him.
I just want to say this to whoever. I've seen this in a couple of chats. To whoever keeps saying and Arn Anderson's gonna show up, it's not gonna happen. He's still under a severance package with WWE that holds him up from even appearing until like the end of the year. So don't bring up Arn Anderson. It'd be a nice thing, but it's a pipe dream.
Okay,
but it's also a nice thing for who. It's not. It has nothing. Arn Anderson showing up in AEW means nothing to most of AEW.
To be in Cody's corner, he has.
No, but like you don't understand. It means nothing. But they would 90% of AEW's fan base.
I know, but they're going for the hardcore fans, though. They want those.
No, even the hardcore fans that AEW is focusing on, it means nothing for 90% of them. I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you right now. Like I'm a hardcore fan, and Arn Anderson coming out, I'd be like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
They would do it because they were in the Four Horsemen together, and people keep saying, "Oh, he's gonna turn on Cody." Then it's like I said, he's in the severance package with WWE. He can't show up till either the end of the year or the beginning of next year. So I think it's a nice pipe dream, but that's all it is.
AEW is focusing on the millennial,
but Cody also goes for the historical thing since of his dad, Dusty Rhodes, and remember he's had DDP there. He's had numerous legends there, including Blanchard.
DDP still has relevance.
Okay, so here's my question: who picked Cody?
Nobody.
That's what I asked before, and then all of a sudden
I said no. We all picked Ty Dillinger.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Onwards, McDuff.
Yes.
Why did you have to bring up that?
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Always call up late.
Here is the thing with Arn Anderson. I agree with Basement. Because if you can't wrestle, these fans do not give a shit about
the hardcore fans now are millennials, which unfortunately I'm a part of somehow.
Well, it's a generation.
It's generation, but
I know,
like still they don't.
I got you, Trek. I got you, but they don't cater. They don't give a shit about Arn Anderson.
I'm trying to think about who Cody could have in his corner that would come out as like a shock factor.
CM Punk.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to get in the ring.
That's true.
That's
true.
That motherfucker shows up, I'm gonna shut off the fucking show.
There you go.
I don't think.
No, you will not, Mister, because you're going to be at my house.
I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it is.
CM Punk can eat my ass. The quote Basement.
I'm just like I said to these guys before we went live. Like, do I care about CM Punk? No, I don't give a fuck at all. But am I going to sit here and say that I won't mark out if he comes out? I can't say that because it's going to be a surprise.
How will it be a surprise if you think it's going to happen?
No, I don't think it's going to happen.
That's still a surprise. You think it's going to happen? It's just speculation.
I mean, I think it could happen.
I hate you, JP.
No, like what I'm saying is I probably would mark out a little bit because it has been a while since we've seen him, and it would be somebody new. It'd be something fresh. It'd be something that some people have been saying and speculating, but I mean, CM Punk has been rumored to be coming back for fucking years already. So this would be like the solidification that he is back.
He's not back. He's not going to be there because he's not back to wrestling because he doesn't care about wrestling.
He doesn't have to wrestle. He would just have to be out there.
No,
hates
like he did for
wrestling.
the friend
he's
at the Indies.
become a lesbian.
Basement, just because you hate him does not mean everybody else has to.
No, I
hates
understand what you're saying. It's just like I don't think like there's been no indication why it would be him, and if this is the way you're debuting CM Punk, it's actually not the full potential of what he could do.
It
Okay.
hinders
You're gonna
him
debut
more
him
than
in
it does
ring or
help.
have it in ring something. Otherwise, like get him away from me.
But you think too, you're going to need a cliffhanger going into TNT's show.
What does Cody need CM Punk?
You don't.
He doesn't.
Nobody does.
He
Yeah,
doesn't.
so it's not
but
gonna happen.
it's a surprise. Oh my God. Bobbit was trying to talk and he got cut off like 10 times. So what's up, Bobbit?
I keep trying to say they could always call Glacier.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
but you know what?
I
That's
stopped
better
the
not
show for
said.
Oh my God.
It's better
no,
not said.
Okay, everybody just no. Bobbit, you shush.
Anytime Bobbit wants to speak, just insert Glacier or insert Gilbert.
Right?
Oh my God.
The next match, and a match I don't care to see again, is Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. We've seen this 4 fucking times. Now, I'm going to say this. If WWE was to do this, which they have, people shit on it. Can't you shit on it? I'm going to shit on it. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see it.
Well, the only difference between this one and the other ones is this is a ladder match.
I don't give a shit
What?
if it's
Why?
a fucking...
Why is it
For
a
the
ladder match?
It's for the titles, Basement. It's like
What
the
title?
for the AAA titles.
Title.
For a title that not actually has anything to do with the show, or
Actually, it does have something to do with the show because Triple H is an affiliate and working with AEW. So
Triple H?
Triple A.
Or did I say Triple H? I meant Triple A.
Triple A.
Yeah, the Young Bucks called this a ladder death match. So I guess it's going to be the high flying, high spots.
Oh God, did I really I'm gonna be with JP. He's gonna be so angry.
I'm just gonna fucking...
And the Young Bucks also have 4 wins already with the...
It'll be a great match.
And I don't think they're gonna...
I'm sure it will be a good match. But
I'm never gonna watch anything else from AAA, so does it matter?
But you know what though? Here's the thing. Like we're forgetting that Phoenix is injured. Like he has a severe leg injury right now. He's only about, what did you guys say, 70%?
Yeah, 70%.
So
what? How is there a gauge on his injury?
Because that's coming from the that's coming from the AEW doctors. Like you know how they say that they're not 100%. He's only about 70. Yeah. So you got to factor that into the fact that this is a ladder match as well, and so that's why I think that the Young Bucks are going to end up taking it.
I hope not.
I don't care. I mean, it'll be a good match, but it means nothing to me in the long run because what the AAA, what is it?
It's AAA.
Yeah,
where is that defended normally?
Mexico.
Oh.
And the last one is going to be a big talk.
I'm going.
So you guys gonna watch what happens after?
Okay.
One of these team wins.
What, Ronnie?
I'm going Lucha Brothers. I think the other one's going to do most of the work anyway, and I don't think for a month they're going to flip them on to the Young Bucks. I think the Young Bucks need to lose too, since they're the only ones that have won everything so far.
I would rather have the Lucha Brothers win, but I just, with that injury, I'm not, especially since it's a ladder match, I'm just not.
Yeah, they're gonna win. Trust me. It's a Mexican tag team winning the Mexican belts while they make an American show.
You are just all full of negativity today.
But no, it's not negativity. How is that negativity? It's just pointing out the obvious.
All right.
Right? I don't know.
Sure.
How is that negative? Tell me how it's negative.
Just.
Exactly.
Who's next?
Sorry guys. Heather's going to bed, so she had to give me her last. I wanted to let you guys continue to talk.
Oh, okay.
She's going to bed.
Night, Heather.
Good night, Heather.
Yeah, she's cranky. Okay.
I'm going Lucha Brothers.
Really? Go to bed. Asshole.
Okay.
Anyway. I'm just kidding. No, we're not fighting. All right, so the next. Oh, well, Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks. Who's got who?
Basement and Trek and Ronnie have Lucha Brothers, and Dory and I have Young Bucks.
I haven't even got half of Dory's shit.
I'm missing a few of them, so she's gonna have to message us.
Who did you take, Trek?
Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Brothers? What's a brush? I'm just kidding.
Lucha Brothers.
I got you. Bobbit?
I didn't even get a pick. The Lucha Brothers.
Okay.
Lord in heaven.
Oh,
Ronnie?
I was ignored.
I'm going Lucha
Nobody's
Brothers.
fucking ignoring you, Ronnie.
Lucha Brothers.
And Trek, you went with the Lucha Brothers. Gina, you went with
Young
the
Bucks.
I hope the Young Bucks break both of their legs.
Oh,
All
me
their
too.
legs.
Me too. 100%. I
Fucking-
with that injury factored in, that's the only reason why I went the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks bore the fuck out of me. I think the Lucha Brothers should win. I think they will win because the very next match, and this is why
Sorry, go ahead.
The Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, versus the Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, in a tag team match. Winner receives a first round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Championship tournament. So, that being said, why in the fuck are the AAA, and I know they're partnered, but why is AEW talent fighting over a title that isn't even part of their...
Straight up.
That's why I don't fucking agree with this AAA World Tag Team title thing.
Well, with the tournament, that's not starting to the 9th. So you figure you've got another month where they're probably under contractual obligation.
No, I understand
that.
But like you looking at it from like a casual point of view, it's like, what the fuck is happening?
You know what? I'm actually gonna change my pick, and I'm gonna go Lucha Brothers because I just remembered that one of the last episodes of Being the Elite, it said end to the title of the show was actually end to the indies. So I don't think that the Young Bucks are going to be traveling back down to Mexico anymore.
No, I don't think they are either. I think once everything gets set for television, and that was even talked about at the press conferences yesterday that they had on Twitter with Conrad and all. Once they go to TV, a lot of these are going to be signed to physical contracts with AEW exclusively.
Yeah.
And that's going to avoid a lot of these guys with these injuries because you're going to be strictly with one company. You're not going to be fighting with the AAA. You're not going to be doing the indies. You're not going to be doing the overseas, whatever. Mm-hmm. You're going to be pretty much obligated like the WWE talent just with that promotion.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I already know who Heather chose, but who did Heather choose for that one?
The Young Bucks.
Young Bucks? Oh, okay.
Come on, man! The Young Bucks can be so deep in their own production that they can't fucking.
I get it. I don't. She's tired. She just wanted to go to bed.
Right.
She looked at me and said, "Fuck it, Young Bucks." So.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on, please, God.
Yep. So the next match,
Super Friends. We're going with Super Friends.
You're going with the Super Friends?
Yeah, or whatever they're called.
Best friends.
I don't even know the other team. I've never seen them.
Dark Order. They were on the. Was it Fight for the Fallen or?
They had a match. They had a match. They looked really good.
I'm going actually with Dark Order, but I think LAX is going to come out during this match.
Why would they come out? Why? At the end, I can see them
coming out. At the end.
I really need to look up who LAX is.
Oh my God.
I have no idea who the fuck that is.
They're the best tag team in the world today.
I'm sorry. I don't know if they are.
The fucking...
What promotion are they with right now?
They were with Impact.
They were with Impact.
Oh, see, and that's probably why I don't know them because I don't
Ring
know
of Honor.
about them.
They wrestled in New Japan a couple of times.
Okay, I probably know who these people are, and I'm going to look them up right now because I probably know who they are, but I just don't recognize the name. And if I recognize their face, I'm going to kick myself.
It's Latin American Express, I think, is their
exchange. Conan was a part of them, Gina.
Conan was their their leader or whatever. I'm gonna go with, oh my god, the Dark Order shouldn't lose. Best friends can lose, and whatever. I'm gonna go with the Dark Order. Trek?
I'm going with Dark Order because it makes sense to give the heels the buy in this one so they can make them look a little bit stronger.
Bobbit?
Dark Order.
Best friends.
Heather picked the best friends too. You decided.
I really, really, really want the best friends to win. So, but I'm going Dark Order.
I agree with what Trek said. Having the heels isn't having the buy makes all this.
So Trek went
best friends.
The next match was supposed to be Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. But since Kenny Omega has MRSA, which I think is, I hate to say this, but it's ironic that a guy that walked away from WWE.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
What?
Awkward silence.
Right? Yeah, it's just like
asked me a question, but he disappeared or died.
Yeah, he went mute for a second.
Old age came for him.
Window. Heather threw him out the window.
Okay, hold on. So is he talking?
I am talking. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I fucking accidentally muted. For some reason, I hit the wrong button.
Gotcha.
So the second to last match, there's one more match to go, is Pac versus Kenny Omega. This match was supposed to be Moxley versus Kenny Omega. I find it ironic, and I did not want to see Jon Moxley get sick or anything, but it's ironic and in a way kind of funny that he was getting ready to debut in an actual match, and now he can't because he doesn't know how to take care of his body. So anyway.
Ironic, don't you think?
So anyway. Pac versus Omega, and I don't get Pac. For those of you that don't know, is Neville. I don't care about this guy. I think Pac's gonna win.
Yep.
Which Kenny Omega, that will now be. Didn't he lose at the last?
Does it matter?
No, he did. No, he didn't lose. He's losing to people. He shouldn't be losing to people.
Yes, he should, because unless he's going to be the face of the company, which he's not, he's going to lose.
Then, never mind. I'm not even going to fucking try and understand this.
Here's my question right now: is Pac still the Dragon Gate champion?
No, he lost.
Okay, then I'm going Pac.
Correct.
I'm going to Omega because Pac. The only reason Pac wouldn't come in was because he didn't want to lose with that title. So now that he has the title, they're not gonna mind him losing. So I think it's Omega.
Okay. So you don't find him losing, but you're picking. I'm confused by what you said.
I feel like if he's taking Jon Moxley's space, he's going to lose, and the Pac's going to win because he's taking Moxley's. How I think.
Yeah, but I think that the whole deal was that Pac didn't want to come in and lose to Paige or anybody else because he was the Dragon Gate champion. So now that he does have the title, he's not gonna mind losing. He's gonna lose to Omega.
I don't think he's gonna lose because I agree with what you said, Trek, but I don't think he's gonna lose because he's taking Moxley's place, and I feel like they were gonna push Moxley over Omega.
Who is literally on a runway?
But then what sense is it going to make if Pac comes in for a one-off and wins? They're not going to do anything with him.
Yeah, because is he signed or is this just a one-up for him?
No,
this is a one-off with a for.
No, it's not. He's signed. No, it is
They're
not
saying,
a one-up.
Yeah, but they said before he was signed too, and then all the shit happened. So then he was in limbo.
And he has been signed this entire time, Trek. He was signed. It's just they chose. He didn't want to lose when he was the champion, so they chose to like push him back, his debut back a little bit. He's still signed with AEW.
I still see Omega winning.
Okay, fair enough. Ronnie?
I'm going with Kenny Omega as well. Because, I mean, if they didn't want him to lose, then they would have had Omega lose to him when he should have first debuted.
But he wasn't supposed to debut again.
He was supposed to take on Adam Page.
He was supposed to take on Adam Page, and it was supposed to be for the championship. And he didn't want. They wanted him to lose to Adam Page for the championship, and he didn't want to lose because
he didn't want to lose.
Yeah, he was still Dragon Gate champion.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, this is a match that should not be happening right now.
I agree.
But because it is, I'm still going with Pac.
Yeah, because I'm agreeing with Ace. I think this is going to be match of the night.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Kenny Omega, when he wrestles, he brings it. So it's going to be one of the matches of the night. But then again, this is a super hot card.
My thing is, you have Kenny Omega, who is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he is one of the best wrestlers. Definitely not one of the best talkers. I can't stand listening to the guy talk. He puts me to fucking sleep. One of the best wrestlers in the world. But you're going to have him lose to a guy that lost to fucking Enzo?
Yeah,
but you also
just
have to remember.
But
there's those are two different. But they're two different characters because one was Neville and this is Pac.
I understand, Gina, that they are two different things. I get that.
Yeah, and you also have to remember that, like,
you have to remember. I just don't see it. I don't think that should happen. But anyway.
Well, you chose Pac.
I did, but I'm trying to say that I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's going to be Pac. I don't
because nobody remembers
should
Pac
not ever lose. I said that at the beginning.
Here's the thing: nobody remembers Pac as the character that lost to Enzo.
I can't ever forget it.
Like after.
Yeah, but like here's the thing: like you want to say that it's just like you're just pinpointing a point in time when this was this character. It didn't. We're talking about like what they can do in ring, and both guys can tear it down in ring.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is Kenny Omega has enough to, if he doesn't win, exist more so than if Pac loses. What does Pac have in AEW?
Well, here's my question.
Got a bad past of not being available when he should be.
Here's my question with this match. Okay, we know that Pac is a heel because he's Bastard Pac. He's the Bastard. So he's a heel, but Kenny Omega's promo that he cut on Jon Moxley the other day kind of made him come off kind of heelish as well. So are they going to turn Kenny Omega back heel like he was in New Japan when he was with Bullet Club?
The way I look at it is like this match actually shouldn't be happening because they didn't think it should be happening. So it's going to be like an AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. Just accept it.
No, I disagree because I disagree. I have a feeling that this match is going to end up being more along the lines of AJ Styles versus Finn Balor because it wasn't supposed to happen and they had to scramble for something at the last minute.
It's the exact same fucking thing.
But not really, though, because if you remember AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, that was one of the best matches I've seen in the past 10 years.
And AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar, was that terrible?
No, it wasn't terrible.
It was actually, I'm going to say this, AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar was better than AJ Styles versus
I agree.
Balor.
I remember it more. I agree 100%.
I remember it more. I disagree.
But you watched this. You watched one of these live, did you not?
I did. I was there live, but that's not even the reason why. I just felt like,
that's the difference,
it was.
That's 100% the difference. Trust me.
The difference for me was more in what they did after the match because they did the too sweet and stuff. Like there was just stuff that they did that made that match super memorable for me. But
what they did after the match wasn't necessarily the match.
Yeah, but the match was great.
It wasn't better. It was not better than Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles.
I don't know about that, but
that
anyways,
was the best Brock Lesnar match we've seen in a long time.
Yes.
Well, we've been on live forever, so I'm not going to argue that with you. But who did Bobbitt pick?
Yeah, I was just getting to that. Bobbitt.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go with the king of the cruiserweights, Pac.
Don't ever tell him that.
The other thing is, too, if this match would have gone on like it was supposed to with Omega and Moxley, and Pac was supposed to be supposed surprise showing up, if that's how it was planned originally.
Mhm.
So would they have had Pac and Omega after this, or were they going to have Moxley and Pac feuding for the upcoming shows?
No,
to start
it would probably have been, I think I heard it was supposed to be Kenny Omega and Pac.
Yeah.
Right.
Sitting right
But
now.
this being the actual match now, and they're not going to draw out unless they're, I mean, the way I'm understanding it, Moxley will be there for the TV debut. So they're not going to have anything before that. And I think this match happening now is not going to have a feud. So that's why my thinking is, since this isn't the surprise that they had planned, then Omega winning it is just going to, whatever happens when the TV taping starts, I don't think the feud's going to continue after this. I think this is going to be the only match that these two have, and then
Now,
depending upon what happens with this last match between Paige and Jericho, are they going to then do Pac and Paige like originally planned?
Here's the thing: like, if they actually cared about Kenny Omega being the big draw that he is, he would have been in the main event.
No, see, here's
And
the
he's
thing.
not.
But here's the thing. If they would have been thinking ahead of time, they would have made this match between Pac and Omega a #1 contender match. Because then there would have been a storyline going forward about who was going to face Jericho or Adam Page.
Right, but that's where I'm saying if Omega wins this, then doesn't that then put him into the contention of
course
now you've got Chris Jericho or Paige, whoever wins that, to go after the title when the shows start, to start a storyline or feud.
Yeah.
I mean, just because they didn't have a precursor, this is why I feel like Kenny Omega will lose, even though, like, oh yeah, they signed this guy, they got this guy with the huge. They're not promoting him to the front of the company, so they're going to use him in this moment as enhancement.
Yeah. Who did Heather pick off with that one?
Omega.
Yeah.
I could go either.
Yeah.
Go either way. I'm not a fan of Pac anymore. Just never have been. Not a fan. I'm not really a fan of Omega's either. But whatever. I love Omega's wrestling. That's about it.
Now, the other thing, now Austin and I were just talking about this when we were watching the show tonight. Marty Scurll's contract comes up in October.
Yeah, and he
was thinking that it was going to end up being the bastard versus the villain.
He may
this.
still be going to WWE.
I don't think so, JP. Because
no.
He just retweeted yesterday a picture with him and Adam Page. But I'm sorry I cut you off, JP.
No, that's okay. It's all right. I mean, yeah, you can say, well, who was the guy that took picture with the fucking? He was with the WWE and he took a picture with the fucking Elite. I mean, just because he takes a picture with Adam Hangman Page doesn't mean that. Go ahead.
No, he didn't take a picture with him. It was an old picture of those two, and he retweeted it, and he said something like "my best friend" or something like that.
I mean, that's fine. It may be his best friend. That doesn't mean he's going to sign with AEW.
I don't think he's going to WWE, but I think he argued all night. So
I think Deonna Purrazzo is going to be the one who helps him get into NXT. Said she's there, and she's been kind of dropping hints too.
I don't think he's going there. But anyways,
and we even talked about before the show start, if they sign John Morrison, could he factor into this?
Who cares about John Morrison? I hate to say that. That guy doesn't. He's not a draw.
Well, yeah, I think what he went through with Lucha Underground and stuff kind of took a lot of
I mean,
his star
he
power.
went far in Impact. I mean, he went all the way to the top in Impact, and up until Slammiversary, he was the champion.
Look at who their top stars are in Impact.
I don't know. They have Killer Cross over there, and Killer Cross is pretty fucking.
For how long? He may not be there much longer because he was shitting over the product a couple weeks ago. He said that they told him to go to a second job because they paid so shitty.
Right, and you got Brian Cage now, and it looks like he's going to. Shamrock's coming back supposedly at the Vegas event.
Yep.
You got Shamrock, Cage, and Moose now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Shamrock.
The women.
I mean, it's like the same thing we say about bringing back these older stars. I mean, they're bringing Ken Shamrock back.
Yeah, but Ken Shamrock can still go.
He can still go. Yes. Yeah.
The women the women are a better draw in Impact than the men are.
Yep.
I think once they lose Rosemary, if she doesn't re-sign, then that whole division's going to falter. I mean, yes, you have Tessa, I know, and right now Taya's still there. But if they did sign Johnny, why wouldn't Taya follow suit with him?
And not only that, but isn't Tessa's contract coming up due pretty soon too?
I don't know.
Because I thought I had heard that her contract was coming up due as well, and there was rumor that she was going to head over to AEW because of her dad's affiliation with AEW now.
But I also heard too, she likes the idea after the match she had at Slammiversary that she can fight the guys over an Impact.
Christ, are we going to have this discussion again?
Mm-hmm. Oh, please God, no.
No.
What did you guys say about Marty Scurll?
One of the things that was appealing to her.
Oh, some of us are saying that Marty Scurll's going WWE, and some of us are saying AEW.
I'm going to say Marty Scurll is a C-list wrestler, and I do not care where he ends up.
The only reason he came up is because his contract's coming up in October. It expires.
I just feel like his heyday was when he was featured on something bigger than he was. Like he's not
hence
great.
Why I think he's
anywhere else.
But hence why I think he's going to AEW because the only time that Marty Scurll really had a lot of push behind him was when he was tied in with the Elite. And if they bring him to WWE, he's just not going to have that same push that he would if he went to AEW.
Okay. I feel like, in honesty, I do not care because any match I ever see with him, I do not care to watch. He's very generic, boring. Been pushed further than he should have been when it started. His push with the Elite, the whole thing. Like the guy is just like maybe he's a fun guy to be around, but wrestling wise, fuck off.
He has the showmanship factor of it though, which would make sense for him to go to WWE because it is entertaining. I don't know who the fuck cares. I don't know.
What's you? The final match is the singles match for the inaugural AEW champion. That is Adam Hangman Page versus Chris Jericho.
And Chris Jericho will win.
It's what I picked. That's what
I'm picking. That's what they need to draw people in starting these shows.
It's a misstep for Adam Page to win. But it could happen, but still.
I think that Jericho should win, but would I bitch if Adam Page won? No, I wouldn't, because the guy's future of the company. But I think right now I'm picking Jericho because I think Jericho is the guy that they need when they first start this company.
I wouldn't bitch if you won. I'd just be like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Which is bitching, basement.
Right. The other thing is
that's
just the question. What the fuck are you doing?
The other thing is too with Jericho starting in October, he might win it. He might not keep it because he's got single tour dates coming up for Fozzy.
He's not going to keep it. No, it'll be a short-term championship.
I could definitely see let's say their first television show.
Right.
I could definitely see him dropping it at the first TV show. But I think right now they need his star power in order to draw people to watch it on TV.
Agreed.
And then he's also got that cruise in January, which I mean, if they're planning on keeping it on him, I mean, that's when the cruise is next year for.
Yeah, but all of the guys from AEW are going to be on that cruise.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Track.
Jericho's gonna win, and I think it's gonna be that MJF is gonna screw over Paige.
That makes sense.
That does make a lot of sense.
So they're not gonna have MJF on the show, but they're gonna showcase MJF, which makes no fucking sense.
But MJF,
no, he's gonna be on the show for sure. In
MJF
some way.
has like such.
No,
okay,
no. That's not what I'm not. I'm saying
I know.
no. I'm talking about him not having a match, but they're gonna showcase him 2 separate times.
He's gonna come out and bitch and moan and say, I'm screwed, screw you, and he's gonna screw over Paige. And not only that, but then, like we said on the show the other night, that Jericho's gonna use this to brag about, just like he beat Stone Cold on The Rock that one night. He's gonna say, I was the first AEW champion, and then he can lose it on the first or second I keep on saying TNA, AEW on TNT, and then make the ratings go up.
Right. I was not bitching about that happening. I didn't need an explanation. What I'm saying is...
I need an explanation. This guy is just hating.
Give you this, what I am saying is this guy is not have a match, but there are some people out there saying that he's going to come out in Cody's match, and then he's going to come out in the championship match.
I don't think he's going to come out in Cody's match. I think that's a red herring.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. You know damn well you're going to see MJF somewhere in this pay-per-view.
Of course you are.
Just because, like, okay, I have a friend that's at StarCast right now. It's StarCast, right? I always say it wrong. Okay. But I have a friend that's...
Starcade. No, you got it right, Starcade. I get it wrong.
Starcade, yeah.
You get it right.
Whatever the fuck it is. I have a friend that's there right now, and she said that, like, when MJF entered the lobby, people were actually lining up to boo him. Like, he's over as a heel so much right now. There's no way that they're going to keep him off of this pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want him to be there, but why does he not have a match?
I don't know that.
I mean, if he's going to be featured in something that's happening, this is the thing. Like, if you're going to bitch when people don't have a match versus when they have the match, leave people off the card.
Yeah, I mean, you know you're going to see him somewhere. I'm perfectly fine if he comes out and he, like, screws Adam Page over, or if he comes out for something else. I'm perfectly fine with that. But
I actually feel like him screwing Adam Page over makes sense, because then it gives the TV audience time for him versus Adam Page without the title being on the line until the pay-per-view. Yeah. Chris Jericho wins it. Also, for the longest time, I said MJF is, he's just another Miz. No, he's actually closer to a Chris Jericho.
So much better than the Miz.
Yep.
He's closer to a Chris Jericho, which is what if they align him with him, then that's fine with me. I feel like this is actually much more likely than any other thing he's going to interrupt with.
You know, and the crazy thing is with MJF, with his size, you would think he would be a perfect mid-carder, but because he is as good as he is on the mic, and he's over so much as a heel, like when you can make the hardcore fan base boo you, then that's a really good thing. So I see really good things for this guy in the future, even despite his size.
Yep.
And it would also
not
be
necessarily
cliffhanger too if
small.
he came out.
He's 220 pounds, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an average size wrestler.
And JP, I know you weren't bitching. I was just trying to explain a little more in case it got garbled.
I was just like, you're gonna. What I'm saying is I one time having him show up one time, and the championship match should be the place to have him show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Him with the Cody thing, I just see a nothing burger.
Yeah, same here. I think it's a red herring.
That's why I said that. Having him, I'm not saying he should wrestle, but if you're going to showcase this guy twice, why didn't you just have him in it?
No, he's going to show up once, and if he shows up, it's at the last match.
Yes.
Even if he doesn't, then he doesn't, whatever. But I feel like they are going to have him on this show because he's got too much, like, Twitter reputation to not be on a show where you're trying to build
Spears
that.
and Page. So they could go either way. They could start the feud with him and Page. That would be the cliffhanger going into the TV debuts.
Mm-hmm.
They decide not to
like
do
him
that.
and Page-
At least have the feud with Spears.
him and Paige should fight for like a couple weeks to a month, and then Jericho should have to like answer. Like Jericho should definitely be. He's going to be definitely. If Jericho doesn't win, I do not like what they're doing.
I could see it being something like where Jericho wins the title, and then Paige comes out in the first AEW on TNT and says, "I want your belt. I want you right now." In the ring, he goes, and then Jericho says, "Well, I won't fight you tonight, but next week if you could beat MJF, then I'll fight you." So it'll be 3 weeks. It'll be like 3 episodes down the line that I could see him building it up till then.
Or you could get the topic of taking it where Jericho saying that he still wants the thank you from the fans that he's never gotten, and he's not going to defend the title till he gets it, and then they do something, not the first week, but maybe the second week or the third week, and then he drops it. So, I mean, he could hang on to it for maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then something happen where he has to defend it if they're going to do that 30-day rule.
And plus, they were dropping hints about this at, what was it, Double or Nothing, where Brett came out and showed the title. They set that whole storyline up months in advance.
Right. Well, imagine for a second that Paige just wins the title.
Yeah.
And they go into a TV deal with that. Would that be absolutely? Yeah.
I don't think so. No momentum there.
But why would you think? Why don't you think so? You know?
Because then it's better to have a case. It's just like when what we talk about when Kofi won the belt. Then I think JP said he should, but it was better when he chased it, not when he caught it, when he won it. I think it would be better to have Jericho win and have Paige chase for a while just to get the eyes on TNT, AEW on TNT.
Right.
I mean, I agree, but like Gina did say that she is okay with Paige winning it.
I would be okay with Paige winning it just because he's the future of the company. However, I don't think it is the great move. I agree that it would be better to have him, kind of chase the title, even if it's for a short time. But I'm not gonna like you said.
He's the president of the company.
But like you said, I'm not gonna bitch and moan if he wins it because the guy is an amazing talent. Like Triple H even went on record saying that Adam Page is the future of the business.
I understand, but it's just like, do you think he's in any position? I have never watched anything that had to do with Adam Page and said, I can't wait to see another Adam Page match.
But that's hence exactly why I said Jericho would be best to win this. But I'm just saying, if they put it on Adam Page, I'm not gonna bitch because I'm gonna wait and see what they do with it beforehand. But I do think that Jericho is going to be the better choice.
They might as well line up to the unemployment line.
And shut up, Bobbitt. Who did you pick?
I'm gonna go Jericho.
And plus, they need, like we were talking about earlier before the call, like I was talking about with my friend Ken at work, they need a massive surprise. I think that's Jericho winning the title that night, and then it sets up, and then Paige and
but the surprise.
Paige and MJF, but Paige and MJF continue growing to the back, and then like Moxley does show up and says, "Your ass is mine."
Moxley can't show up. He can't show up.
Just shoot me in the head right now. Just kill me.
No, Moxley can't.
No, I was just saying
show up.
He can show up and cut a promo.
No, he can't. He's Mercer right now. Like he is literally locked away in a room.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's quarantined.
He's quarantined right now.
Does it like what if he does it over like their video screen or something?
Okay, legitimately.
He skips it.
Hold on, check. Tell me.
But you know what I mean.
Hold on. But tell me how serious you are going to take somebody if they are cutting a promo against a world heavyweight champion from a hospital bed.
No.
They did it with Cena. Cena did that before.
Stop.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That was when the decline in WWE started.
Well, then I don't know what they could do, but I say that Jericho wins it. They need a big home run to lead into TV because they're not going to have another pay-per-view until
Jericho is that home run.
See why there is a home run needed.
Jericho.
They need to keep the eyes on them while they're off TV until October.
Yes, that's why Jericho wins.
Yes,
that's
either
right,
way around.
That's the big thing. Paige could win, and that could be cool and stuff like that. But how long? What will that keep them going into the debut episode?
It will not.
But you also have to remember that there is the platform that they've been using to propel themselves up to where they are already right now, which is Twitter, YouTube. There's Being the Elite. There's going to be the road to wherever the fuck their road to Washington D.C. or wherever the fuck their first pay-per-view is.
I'm gonna say this. Hopefully, when they start this TV shit, they stop doing that YouTube shit because I cannot fucking watch it.
They said that's probably
so
few and far between.
From what I understand. Yeah, from what I understand, the Young Bucks do plan on stopping Being the Elite as soon as TV starts, because like Ronnie said, they're not going to have time.
And no, Gina, I know what you meant. It's a garbled today.
Okay. They asked him. Well, somebody asked him at their panel today at Starcast, and they said if the fans want it, they will continue with Being the Elite.
I think a lot if they continue with Being the Elite, I think it's going to go back to what it originally started out as, which is more of like a travel podcast.
Yes. If they continue the Being the Elite the way it's going now, why the fuck are they doing a weekly television show?
Yeah, I think it'll go back to. I could see it going to, but I could see it going back to like a travel thing with the Young Bucks and along with not just the Young Bucks, but I could see them like kind of splicing together different travel ventures and stuff of like everybody within the company.
Well, they could even do it leading up to the next big pay-per-view. Do it like that week, the road to whatever the next pay-per-view is, and just do it that week.
Okay, so Ace, the cliffhanger would be having MJF come out and fuck over Hangman Page. There's your cliffhanger.
Yeah, or even just Jericho winning is a cliffhanger, because then you're going to tune into the first TV appearance because you're going to want to see who wants to face Jericho.
Right.
Well,
and it's going to create that buzz. Jericho's where all the buzz is.
Right, and this could also lead into the speculations: is CM Punk returning?
And not just CM Punk, but you guys got to remember that like they've only revealed 40% of their roster.
Correct.
So who knows?
I'm gonna say 20% of that 40% is going to be people I do not know.
That is true.
Well, you are just Mr. Negativity.
No,
it's not. It's just
he's right, Gina. He's not wrong.
What other star could potentially show up at the end like they did with Moxley? Because everybody was, he's not showing up. No, he's not showing up. Of course, he shows up at the very end and he attacks Jericho. We know it's not going to be Moxley because he's already showed up.
Right. Well, and it can't be him either.
So who is
I see it in MJF
would come out to challenge whoever wins. And
MJF could be important to it, but I also feel like Jericho's going to win. And MJF will be in his corner, and that gives them television programming for a couple of weeks.
Yep. JP, I'm assuming that Heather went Jericho as well?
Yes. Did.
By the way, Conrad did say the other night, do not expect Punk. He is not scheduled to be showing up at AEW. So that's either subterfuge or...
Why would he be...
Okay, Basement, I'm not saying that he's going to be there. I am not saying that at all. But I'm just saying if he was planned on being there, they're not going to tell you.
What? For what, though?
No, I know, but still.
But look how they kept Moxley under wraps. Everybody kept saying, no, it's not going to be him.
Moxley and CM Punk are two different animals. CM Punk has not been
CM Punk has come on record. I'm going to say this now. CM Punk, and I said this the other day, CM Punk has come on record and said he hates fucking wrestling. He does not want to be anywhere
if he shows
near
up,
it.
What is he showing up for?
Nothing.
No, but
he's showing up. Everybody's going to be watching with bated breath whether or not he's going to cut another fucking pipe bomb. That's what they're going to be waiting for.
Yeah, I can't wait to.
There's got to be like
pipe bomb on what a fucking business he hasn't been part of for the last
year.
There's got to be
something too. Look at all the times Shawn Michaels. I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back.
But he's always
him
been
enough money to come back.
He's always strictly been a wrestler.
All I am saying is that there has to be some big name talent out there that we are not realizing are actually up for grabs that could possibly have signed with AEW under the wraps.
Why?
Because it's a wrestling promotion and they're paying just as much as WWE.
No, but like, why does that have to be what's happening?
Because they have 60% of a roster. It's not going to be 60% of the roster isn't going to be just no-name guys, Basement. Like, they have to have some names in the bag.
No, they're going to have 80% of a roster that's no-name guys until that roster becomes named guys.
See, I disagree. I disagree. There's got to be at least a good 20% of those have to be, like, decently named, well-known wrestlers.
Now, the contract that Brock Lesnar signed, is it per appearance, or is he signed actually through WrestleMania?
He signed to WWE, yeah.
Not going anywhere.
And I don't want to see Brock Lesnar over there anyway. Like
that's never going to happen. Come on.
I do.
That's what I'm saying.
The guy is paid $1 million.
And he would be paid just as well over at AEW. It's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, like, you can't hold their paychecks against them between AEW and WWE because AEW paid just as much. Have this
thing that people confuse is, though AEW may have the financial backing that WWE has, is they are not willing to put money into something that does not give money back.
That's why, like, a lot of the roster is going to be young guys because it is up and coming and stuff. But like they have to have a decent amount of like.
This is the argument I have. Like, I mean, if everybody's going to be out there, oh, they got a billionaire backing them. Yeah, they have a billionaire backing them. How does that person stay a billionaire? Equaling, I'm going to put X number of dollars out. I'm going to get X plus 10 back. It's not going to just be because I have all this money in the world. I can do whatever I want, throw it away. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got anything else they'd like to add?
Nope.
Okay. Somebody just took a drink and went,
You just rich.
No, I actually was stretching my leg.
Oh. It sounded like you were taking a drink. Okay.
Nah.
I think that was a mixture between Basement taking a drink and Ronnie stretching her leg. It just happened time perfectly.
Yeah.
It's fine. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go to bed because I have a long drive tomorrow.
I got to go to bed because I got to get up and clean.
I got to work.
I want to thank everybody for showing up. We will be keeping track of this tomorrow night, and I'm sure we'll be tweeting out during the show, and Gina and I may be hitting each other with frying pans by the end of the night.
Yep.
Flippy shit.
I love my flippy shit. He hates it, so this is going to be interesting.
That may be more fun than the all-out pay-per-view.
See, I won't yell because my daughter is scared of people that yell, so...
Oh, shut up, Trek.
Yep, I agree. Shut up, Trek. In that moment, I'm sorry.
So that being said, you all have a great night, and we will talk to you again next week. Don't forget, we do more than just wrestling on this. Basement actually does gaming and stuff. So does Heather. Gina's getting ready to do a show, I'm thinking. I don't know what everybody's got planned. I just know where I'm supposed to be when I do things, and then I'm good. But
we got a lot of content coming out. Just pay attention to the channel.
Yep.
If I could ever upload this fucking motherfucker, I swear to God.
I think that's why Basement is angry today.
I think so. He's agitated.
I'm actually just like, I'm agitated because this is the 18th time I tried to upload, whatever, and leave. Yeah, because you can't get beyond 90% because you got dicks in your face.
So that being said, you all have a great night, and we will talk to you in the future.
Bye.
See you later.
Night, folks.
Fuck off, YouTube.
Surprise.
JP